see here. I couldn't share this as a post. Y'all let me know if you can hear me. I was trying to. Okay. Yeah, I had cut out because I was sharing the post, so it cut off. But should be back now. Yeah, some of y'all late. Some of y'all late on here. So you showing the replay. Y'all watching the replay. So now we have to see all night. People saying it froze, it's choppy all rest of the night when they come on and looking at the replay, not realizing that it's live. And I got my little AirPod in, so hopefully y'all can hear me. Had to keep my light on. I mean my AC on up there. And got me some bubble gum in my mouth. So with this AirPod, y'all might hear me smacking in your ear. But and then not somebody talking about there's no volume. So how somebody could hear and somebody say ain't no volume. Boy, I tell you, boy. Boy, I tell you. And YouTube, because the way YouTube is, people can be on here all time of day. And so they have people working around the clock at YouTube. And so they'll have people in Pakistan, people all over, working. YouTube, Palo Alto, give me a call. Palo Alto, give me a call. Because y'all done changed the live when you go from your phone. Y'all done changed the live to where you can't do members only. So you can't set it as members only. Then when you own the live on your phone and you click share, when you share it to your community page as a post, it shuts your live off. If you're not tech savvy, you're gonna be like, where my live went? And then you got to go back to the plus sign, click that, click go live again, and then it'll bring your live back. It didn't used to be like that. And I'm gonna tell y'all, listen to me. I'm gonna tell y'all out there in Palo Alto, you getting bored. You getting bored. I know them people is paying you to program, but you don't have to just keep programming. Like, stop fixing something that's not broke. Now, y'all bring them out there and give me a piece of their company, and let me help y'all scale to the next level, because y'all keep breaking stuff that's not broken. And then y'all hating because y'all set up the memberships, but then you don't want people to do a live for just their members, because you want the drama and you want the people that's not members to be all in your chat. And for those of y'all who not a Blessed Tribe member, you don't see that little sign by your thing. Technically, y'all not supposed to be talking, but I'm letting y'all talk because YouTube letting y'all talk. So keep yourself together now, because you will get blocked. You will get blocked. And then the thing about it is, the reason why you want members only is because sometimes when you talking about real topics, the people you talking about will go make a fake account and then be in the chat trying to cause issues. And then I got to be watching it and be blocking it. Sunny Rain, you need to join the Blessed Tribe now. You're going to be all in the chat now. Now, when I get my computer locked up in my office, that's why I couldn't go live on my computer. Had I been able to go live on my computer, I could have set it on members only. And so now, don't y'all be on here, Aisha and Life in the Spirit. Don't y'all be on here talking too much now, because y'all not in the Blessed Tribe. So I'm just letting y'all know now. Typically, this just to be the Blessed Tribe on the chat, and everybody can watch now. But it's typically just for the members to be on the chat. But to the members, I want to let y'all know I didn't open the chat. YouTube did that. And one of my clients reached out to me because she got a big YouTube, and she said, Tony, did you notice YouTube changed? And I said, I sure did. That's why when I got ready to go live, I didn't do live because they done changed it from where you can't select members only. And they done made it a very bare bones, basic little setup to where you can't really do what you need to do. So Palo Alto, come on now. I'm paying y'all 45% a month. Y'all need to get this together. Because y'all out there taking thousands of dollars a month out of people's pocket. Y'all need to have this here running the right way. Okay? So understand that. CJ Wilson joined the Blessed Tribe now. And also CJ, we don't do talking on here with cats. You got to have your real picture. So listen, if y'all don't have a real picture, y'all stay out the chat. Because I do not want to talk to inanimate objects or none of that. Y'all got to have a real picture. Now listen to me now. Y'all get it together now. Y'all get it together. I'm just letting y'all know, we just laying the ground rules for this first little bit because, you know, we really ain't going to get started real by 8 o'clock. So y'all join the Blessed Tribe now. Yeah, Jordan, what you waiting on now? Come on now. Join the Blessed Tribe. Because when I get on my computer, it's going to be members only. Okay? Members only. God bless you. Now, thank y'all. Thank y'all. God bless you. Now, listen. I appreciate flowers, but I don't like flowers. Okay? What I mean by that is I appreciate the flowers, and it mean a lot. I think it was Mother Teresa that said, let criticism nor praise change you. And so that's why I really don't, you know, y'all tell God thank you, and for what He doing in our lives. And I wanted to come on here because I am just perturbed, man. And the reason being is because a young lady sent me a picture of her DM where there was a man who DM her and said, asking her, he said to her, I see you following Tony Gaskins. And so I'm reaching out to you because he was a mentor of mine on the mindset and all of this. And I want to know your experience. So this man checking on me, a random woman now, a random woman. This woman don't have no large following. I ain't never shot at this woman. I ain't never posted this woman. I ain't never nothing. He just reaching out to her. And then the man don't even follow me, but he followed my wife. Now, I almost put a hit out on him, but I said, Lord, so what I told my wife, I say, go on your follow list and remove him as a follower. So he understand, yeah, I see you, boy. Don't be following my wife if you don't follow me, because my wife ain't motivating online. So don't be following my wife if you ain't following me now. And I realized that there was an influencer who was following me, a woman. And so I following back my clients and, you know, verified accounts and stuff like that. And just look one person at a time. And I realized this young lady, husband, she got a husband. So I follow her husband. He is an influencer, you know, and all of that. So I live by the same rules. Hold on now. Run outside my door. Maybe there was an acorn hit me. I'm like, hold on now. Somebody trying to. Hold on. I heard a little clicking now. Y'all forgive me. And so when I seen that right there, I'm like, this clown is in women DMs asking them about me. What was your experience with Tony Gaskins? This woman don't know me. This woman don't know me. Like, what in the world are you trying to gain? If you want to just shoot your shot, shoot your shot. Don't be mentioning me. And so then I realized that it's been a lot of relationship coaches and a lot of life coaches saying Tony Gaskins is my mentor. And let me tell y'all ladies something. Every man got to stand on his own 2 feet. Don't you ever in your life, this to every woman who hear this, who watch this video, Don't you ever in your life give another man merit based on him saying another man's name. Don't you ever think that just because I'm married and I'm faithful to my wife, that because another man say my name, that we cut from the same cloth. Don't you ever think that. Now, he could be cut from the old cloth I was cut from, and he could be cut from the new cloth, but I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know no man closely. I don't know no man closely enough to stamp him. I don't know nobody that close. I got one homeboy that I know close, and that's Russ. That I know real close, like over since we've been adults. Before that, all my homeboys, I only knew them up until 12th grade. So if a man ever come to you and say I'm his mentor or he know me, you reach out to support at TonyGaskins.com and you ask, does Tony Gaskins know this man? And I see every email that come in and support. If you put in the caption, Tony, do you know this man? Because he say he know me. If I know him, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, I know him, but I don't know him like that because I don't know no man like that. I have never been close to men. When I was in college, I had me a woman that I was up under all the time. My teammates, I played college football. A lot of my teammates, it'll be up to 12 or 13 of them. Some of us about to be up there in West Virginia because we getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. Our team getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. It'll be 12 or 13 of them, and if y'all watching this, hey, it is what it is now. It is what it is. They will be sitting in the room watching the nasty, and I'll be up under me a woman, and I'll pop in there like, man, what y'all in here doing, man? What it look like we doing, man? We watching this here pee. And I just didn't understand that, but I guess because it was early 2000s and they had a 13-inch TV, and you should just be sitting in there just watching the nasty on that 13-inch TV, and I couldn't wrap my mind around that for the life of me. I was out there trying to make me some. I wasn't finna sit there on the floor in this bunk bed and sit there on the floor, be looking up at this 13-inch, this little old TV this big. I'm like, you hear me? And that's how I was living. And I ain't proud of it. But listen to me. The one reason, and this is what I want you to understand, the one reason why I do what I do today is because, for one, I changed my life. So when you look at when I started this journey was 2007 is when I wrote my book. I didn't really get going, like I didn't really get serious until 2010. So I was 3 years in the incubator. I was 3 years. But I wrote my first book, Giving the Game Away, at 2007. I published the book on February 1st. I got married on March 30th. So I got married and I still wasn't where I needed to be. I still wasn't all the way there, meaning I hadn't fully made up my mind that marriage was for me. And this is what a lot of people won't admit to. And a lot of people who are receiving messages expect to receive messages from Jesus Christ. Everybody got a story to tell. God made one perfect man, and that's Jesus Christ. And that's what we got to understand. That's my sister-in-law's birthday too, March 30th. And my wife would have told me it was her sister's birthday. I wouldn't have married on sister's birthday to take away her sister's birthday. I could have waited the 31st. Now, come on, I could have did the 29. That was my college football number, 29. I could have did 29. So listen, I got married to my wife because I knew she had all the qualities that a wife could have, and we had got pregnant. So we had got pregnant, and I had told my mama, because my father was in the home, I had told my mama, if I get a woman pregnant, I don't care if she is a prostitute, I'm going to marry her, and I'm going to raise my children. Because if I'm man enough to lie down with a woman unprotected and get her pregnant, I got to be man enough to stand up beside that woman and marry her and raise my children. Because when I have children, it's no longer about me and what I want. It's no longer about me. It's about that child. Because that's a whole human being who did not ask to be here. And I'm going to tell you, the reason why I started doing what I'm doing is because, for one, I was in the street selling drugs in 2007. And one of my homegirls' brother, I'm going to tell you the real story. I'm going to tell you the real story. And then I'm going to talk to y'all fake relationship coaches. In 2007, my homegirl that we dated for a day, we grew up together playing basketball together. She was on my basketball team. Her brother was dating white women in college. I wrote her and I said, now this back in the early days, now this in the early 2000s. No, this was 2006. I wrote her and I said, listen, tell your brother to be careful with those white women. Now, to all my whites that's watching this, I'm telling you a real story. That's all I can keep it blood raw now. So if you sensitive, this I ain't the one for you. Because for me, I got to be authentic. I'm not finna be sugarcoating and all of that like these other clowns out here. Like these clowns out here sugarcoating and trying to talk proper. And no, they come out the doggone slums and barely done read a book trying to talk all proper and all of that. No, we got to be authentic. We got to be real. Listen to me now. So I told her, I said, listen, tell your brother, be careful with those white women now, because that still ain't all the way accepted. It's 2006 at this time, but that ain't all the way accepted now. And she said, well, Tony, what made you stop doing it? And I say, well, I started to see the fallout. I started to realize that them white women daddy don't like me and don't want me with their daughter. So I'm not finna be with this white man daughter if he don't want me to be his son-in-law. I also said I'm seeing what the kids is going through. These biracial kids in 2006 now, I went to school with a biracial boy and he wrote a essay and he said that he felt like an Oreo. He said he really didn't know who to be. He said, I'm not white enough for the whites and I'm not black enough for the blacks. He said, I love my dad. His daddy was white. And he said, I love my mom. His mom was black. He said, but I don't know what side to choose. So when I read his essay, this was my homeboy. This was my point guard. I was in the 10th grade. He was in the 6th grade. He was on our varsity basketball team and he was the starting point guard. And Sunny Rain, calm down now. We ain't talking bad about people. And he said that he felt like an Oreo. So for me, I put other people before myself. And I say, if I bring a child in the world, if this world is not accepting of my child's race, meaning if my child has an identity crisis, even worse than what I'm dealing with as a black person, I say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to my child. So I had a white girlfriend at the time in the 10th grade. I went to her and I said, hey, we have to break up. She was like, why? She was like, I love you. I was like, we really don't even know what love is. And I say, then too, I just read this essay from my homeboy, and I can't have my child going through that because it sounds like this man could end up being, ready to end it all. And I started to notice that a lot of those children was having identity crisis on a whole nother level. It was different than the black in America identity crisis. It was different than the Haitian in America identity crisis. it was different, because where I'm from in Florida, Black Americans would pick on Haitian Americans, and Haitian had it worse than just as black because they was like a double minority. Because it was like, not only are you black, you also black from an island with an accent, and you your parents came over from Haiti, so you hadn't been in America as long, so you hadn't got established. And my best homeboys was Haitian guys, and they was the nicest. They never had problems. They never was, nasty. They wasn't like Black Americans, but yet they got picked on. They got talked about. They got mistreated, but yet it was the strongest people. And so when I seen the mixed kids, black and white, in the South in the early 2000s, man, listen, that was a whole nother struggle. And so they literally had to like code switch. They had to be at all the way white, or they had to act all the way black. It was almost like they couldn't embrace both sides of them. And so this is really real now. This some real stuff what we talking about. So she said to me, and this how God will push you into purpose. My homegirl said to me, she said, Tony, because I was writing a book called Forced to Be Hard at that time. And I was writing a book called Forced to Be Hard because all of us, almost every guy I knew, went to the streets. Even those of us from two-parent homes, the streets was still a rite of passage. And so, Mona Nunn, this is not a Q&A. It's not a Q&A. But we do have coaches for that on mymentor.life. Somebody put mymentor.life in the chat. And you go in there and click hire a coach, and then click the filter, and then click on, we got autism caretaker coaches. That's outside of my scope though. And so what I was saying, somebody come on here asking a Q&A without reading the room and throw me off. Now y'all start interrupting the spirit now. And so let me backtrack. Oh, my homegirl, I was writing a book called Forced to Be Hard. I reached out to my homeboy who got sentenced to 3 life sentences. I said, hey man, do you want to tell your story? Because we grew up together. We was in the 9th grade. We played on the basketball team together. We used to ride in each other. I used to ride in his car, and I used to stay the night at his house, and we was real tight. And then yeah, you can listen, Lotus. Now, Lotus, didn't I just say y'all start asking questions now? Y'all throwing me off on here now. Come on now. Y'all start asking questions. This is not a Q&A. It's not a Q&A now. Y'all calm down now. Let me send you over there to the fake relationship coaches now. And so I'm writing a book called Forced to Be Hard. I wrote my homeboy who got sentenced to 3 life sentences for taking the life, allegedly taking the life. He got mad, later told my sister he was mad with me because I assumed he was guilty. And it's like, bro, come on now. It's like, come on, bro. Come on. I know you. I already know what y'all was into. I already know what y'all had going on. So it's like, come on now. It's like, I'm trying to help the youth. I'm trying to get you some stripes in heaven. You finna sit behind these bars. You might as well do something good with your story. And then my sister boyfriend was doing 15 years. And he was doing 15 years. So I talked to her about writing his story. But at that time, he was still learning how to read and write. He had graduated school, but he was still learning how to read and write. So it was a struggle. She could read what he wrote, but I couldn't read what he wrote. She understood what he was trying to say. I couldn't understand what he was trying to say. So the book wasn't going nowhere. And the book was called Forced to Be Hard. I had been in the streets and I had done enough to be in prison. And the Lord graced me. I had went to jail in the 9th grade for hanging with my homeboy, stealing out the mall. So I had changed my life. And I love to write. And I was a poet at first. But my homegirl said, well, Tony, what made you start talking to white women? I told her, I told her the reasons, which I can't remember what I said to her. And she said, well, why don't you tell him? Talking about tell her brother. And I'm like, man, that's your brother. I'm like, I don't know him like that. Like, we went to school together early on when he was a jit, but I don't know him like that. He ended up marrying a white woman, and they doing fine. They doing good, and of course, biracial kids, and they doing good. But we're in a different day today than we was, 20 years ago, and it still ain't perfect today. He still tell me about the issues that they have and how they get looked at and all of that. But I ain't want nobody to go through nothing. And so she said, after I told her that, she said, well, Tony, you should write a book. She said, you the biggest player I've ever known. I was 22 years old when she spoke that into my life. And because I was already writing a book called Forced to Be Hard, but the stories weren't coming together because everybody in prison that I wanted to tell their story was sitting in prison talking about they innocent. And I'm like, man, I grew up with y'all. Come on now. Yeah, everybody ain't in the innocent now. But they can't write their story because them letters get read. And so I ain't think about that part of it. And so the book wasn't going nowhere. So I switched and I wrote this book. And I said, get me 10 questions. I'm 22 years old now. I had to change my life. Had me a girlfriend, which is now my wife. I'm trying to live right. I'm trying to do the right thing. And I come from playing the game at the highest level because you got to realize it wasn't a lot of black men that played college football and had a car and had 2 cell phones and had a 2-parent home and didn't curse, didn't drink, didn't smoke as an adult male. So I stood out like a sore thumb because of just I was moving differently. And it was kind of weird because I was in the streets, but I also was deep. And so it was just kind of a weird thing. And I never had a struggle with getting women and dealing with women. Now, it was not a lot of beautiful women, so you just kind of, whatever it is. And yes, it was the highest level, Sonny. I'm a man. I know how men play the game. So when I say, so like I said, Sonny, you not in the blessed tribe. Don't be on here asking questions now. You about to get blocked interrupting the chat now. That's why I do members only. Get in the blessed tribe now. You finna be asking all these questions, Sonny. Before I send you over here to one of these fake relationship coaches now. Start interrupting the spirit. And so here I am. I'm playing the game at the high. And when I say high level, what you have to realize is for a man to sleep with 3 women in a 24-hour period without being a celebrity, without being a millionaire, and these women not being paid, these everyday women, these women in college, these women want to be nurses, doctors, lawyers. That's a high level of playing the game. And so that's what you have to understand. And I was doing it to where I had then got me a modeling troupe, and I had 8 women that was in the modeling troupe, and we went into the club and they would twerk and we'll get tips. And then guys started wanting them to sell their bodies, but I protected them from that. And some of them, a couple of them wanted to go make the money and do private dancing, but I had to educate them because they was in school to be nurses and lawyers. And I had to educate them and say, listen, these are real killers. Like these guys that's offering you $1,000 to come to their room, these real goons right here. You might not make it out. You might not make it out. And so I had to protect them from that. And then I got back with my wife, who was my girlfriend. We had broke up. We was together for 2 or 3 months. We broke up because I was toxic. And it wasn't really toxic, but it was like she had a boyfriend, I had a girlfriend. We had broke up with our boyfriend, girlfriend, still had the soul ties. So the first sign of us hitting a little bump in the road, we was like, done with this, and went on back to our exes. She was back with her ex for a couple months. I was back with my ex for about 6 months. And then at that 6 month mark, I bumped back into my wife. When I bumped back into my wife, we hit it back off. We hit it off, got back together. I broke up with my ex, with my girlfriend, for my wife. Got with my wife, started living right, doing the right thing. I had the Dazzling Dimes, which was the 8 women that was going in the club twerking. And my wife, she was like, when she got pregnant, she was like, you got to get out the streets. You got to stop selling drugs, and you got to cut the Dazzling Dimes off. You got to let go of the Dazzling Dimes. And so I stopped hustling, and I dissolved the Dazzling Dimes. My homeboy that I grew up with had came to me. He was dying from cancer. So we had one last run with the Dazzling Dimes, and we cast it throughout the state of Florida. And we had women coming down to the suite, had them do a little twerking, you know, drop their pants, show us them in the thong, let us see what their body looked like, enlist them in the Dazzling Dimes. So when I changed my life, I was coming from something. A lot of these guys who on here talking about love and relationships ain't never did nothing. They don't even know women. They don't even really understand women. They really have not really played the game. And you could tell because a lot of them look like Kermit the Frog. Look like Kermit the Frog slept with his sister and then had them. And I'm like, come on, bro. I could look at you and tell that you don't know what you're talking about. I could look at you and tell that you listening to me and other guys like me and then trying to regurgitate what we saying because you think it's money in this. You think it's money attached to this. And when I tell you now, it's thousands of these guys. And they may only have 100 followers right now. Some of them got 1,000. Some of them got millions. And they doing everything they can to go all the way around to talk about love and relationship, but don't got a story. Ain't telling no story. What is the story that led you to want to give away the game? What's the story? And so today we got a lot of fakes out here who ain't paid no dues, ain't don't have a story to tell, don't have a reason, don't have a why, don't have purpose. They just trying to do it to be famous. They trying to do it to be known. They trying to do it for a come up. But then they don't want to do it in real life. As soon as I wrote my first book, I got married. And I've been with the same woman. I've been with the same woman. I'm on my first marriage. And we just celebrated 16 years of marriage. So I'm doing everything I can to live what I teach. Doing everything I can to live what I teach. And the reason about this right here is I'm doing everything to live honestly and righteously. And let me tell you, and so it upsets me when I see men and women come into the love and relationship space or to into any space really. If we got broke financial advisors, we got out of shape personal trainers. But it upset me when men and women come into this love and relationship space and not working on themselves to implement what they talking about. We got people who they talking but ain't living it. If you know what you talking about, show me what you talking about. If you understand love, then create love. If you understand a relationship, then create a relationship. Don't sit here and keep talking about dear future wifey, when it's a million wifeys. Don't sit here and keep talking about love and relationship and you keep passing over all these women, acting like you God's gift to earth, like you the second coming of Christ, looking like somebody to chewed you up and spit you out. So if you want to talk about something, be about it. The same way that we require that somebody telling us about some stocks actually hold some stocks and actually know how to trade stocks. The same way we want our credit repair experts to have a 800 credit score. The same way we want our personal trainer to have a flat stomach is the same way we need to have our love and relationship coaches have a relationship and be successful. Otherwise, you're a life coach. You're a life coach. And you can teach on life, but stop talking about love until you can implement it. Because love ain't running from nobody. Love ain't running from nobody. You have to become love. You got to become love. And then you'll attract love. But in order to become love, you got to love yourself on the highest level. You can't love yourself in one area and then expect to get it all. You got to love yourself in every area. So you can't just brush your teeth and then have a nappy head. You can't have nice hair, but then don't brush your teeth. You can't work on your mind, but don't work on your body. You can't work on your body, but don't work on your mind. So stop talking about love and relationships if you're not finna go out and create love and accept the person that's trying to love you, that want to be with you. But see, the thing about it is, people don't want that. People don't want that. Uh, and no, I wasn't on nobody's show, Dear Future Wifey. And the show that I went on, he do finance. Anthony do finance, and Anthony know, and Anthony know, I know, and Anthony know. He know, Anthony know me. He know I don't tolerate a man preaching on love relationships if he ain't finna live it, and he doesn't do that. That's why he interview people. That's different. But I ain't been on nobody podcast called Dear Future Wifey, and I don't even know if there's a podcast called that. But I keep seeing a bunch of single men keep placating to these women by putting hashtag Dear Future Wifey, and they not trying to get in no relationship. Cause it's a million women walking around single. It's millions of women. And I'm gonna tell you like this right here, Playboy. You ain't that special. You ain't that special to act like ain't no woman out here for you. That's not the case. Especially if you want to talk about love and relationships all the time. Now, if you want to talk about something else, okay, go ahead. But when you want to talk about love and relationship, then if that's what you want to talk about, then that's what you need to be by. Otherwise, shut up. Because like the Bible say, pray in secret. So if you want you somebody, pray in secret. And God will reward you publicly. Then when you get rewarded publicly, you can't hide your blessings. Because you did the work in the dark. Stop monetizing love if you ain't gonna do the work in the dark. After you done did the work in the dark, you got to still keep doing it. You got to still keep doing it. And if you ain't gonna do it, then shut up. Because you're messing it up for those of us who are doing it, who live in it and trying to teach from what we live in. And if you're gonna teach something that you're not living, then at least have the sense to sit down with people who live in it. And then do that across the board. Don't pick and choose. Because see, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Glenn, I told y'all, don't post nobody's name in my chat. If I don't say nobody's name, don't y'all say nobody's name. That's how you get blocked. Because we don't stamp people. Because a lot of people don't know people. I got a client in France. She didn't even know who LeBron James was. She didn't know who Kevin Hart was. So when you say somebody's name, you introducing them to somebody. Don't say nobody's name on my chat. That's how you get blocked. So now listen to me. A lot of these podcasts, they don't call me because they know I see through the bull. Because they know that I walk alone. They know that I'm not out here trying to take no bunch of pictures with every man. I ain't trying to hop from dangalane to dangalane like these men out here doing. These men out here hopping dangalanes. Listen, I'm focused on God. I'm focused on my wife. I'm focused on my family. These men out here, y'all boys too focused on hopping dangalanes and trying to click up and link up and take pictures. And take pictures. We got with the boys. A lot of the men out here like men. A lot of them like men. And I'm going to tell you this right here. If a man stays single for too long, he telling me he like a man. If a man stays single for too long, he telling me he like a man. Because listen, if I can't smell the olive oil that was on Apostle Paul on you, if I can't look at your video and get the Holy Ghost, then you need not be single past 40. Because it is too many women. It is too many women out here. And it's too many God-fearing women. And it's too many women for a man who say he want to be married to be single past 40. It's time to get it together. It's time to get it together because when you cross 40, you got to get a special clearance. You got to check. You got to get a special clearance. What's going on now? Have you been married? Okay, what happened in that marriage? All right, how long you been divorced? Okay. Uh-huh. So this one right here ain't good enough. Why? Now, how she not cute enough and your hairline acting up? How she not cute enough and you 5'8", 5'6"? How she not cute enough and you got ingrown hairs? How she not cute enough and she got more money than you got? Come on now. It's a lot of excuses being made by y'all single men. It is too many women out here for y'all boys to be single across 40 now. Cause I'm starting to sense a spirit on you. It's a lot of y'all now. It's a few. It's always exceptions to the rule. It's always a few exceptions to the rules now. But listen, 90%. We finna jump to 99%. You single after 40 as a man, that's different because men do the choosing. The Bible say a man who finds a wife. The Bible don't say a man who create a podcast to attract his wife. The Bible say a man who find a wife. So, and it's too many women. And if you're looking at humans the way God look at a human, then it's not going to be hard to find no wife because you're not waiting on perfection because ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. So if you taking and you saying, hey, well, I want this kind of woman, I want that kind of woman, well, guess what? That one want this kind of man, this kind of man. You're not that kind of man. So if you say, hey, I want this kind of woman, that woman say, hey, I want a man that's 6 foot tall. So if 90% of women want a man that's 6 foot tall, if you under 6 foot tall as a man, you can't have all these extra preferences. If a woman say, hey, I want a man who is worth 7 figures. If you ain't worth 7 figures, then you can't have all these extra preferences. So in order to prefer, you got to be preferable. And this is what I'm trying to help y'all fellas understand. Because I seen a man who uh is single talking about love and relationships. And he got a perm in his beard. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, okay, so you single and you talking about love and relationship, and you acting like ain't no woman on your level, and you got your beard perm with dye in it. I see all that dye in your beard, and your beard is perm. Your beard look like you got Al Sharpton from the when he was in the 90s on your face and hollering about it's not a woman that's on the spiritual level that I'm on. And then in the next sentence say he's in fornication. So I'm like, how is a woman not on the spiritual level you on and you fornicating? I'm like, come on now. And then listen to me. This the stupidity. Listen, we deserve as people, we deserve to be taken advantage of. Because if we dumb enough, it's millions of people who are dumb enough to follow a single relationship coach. If you are dumb enough to follow a single relationship coach, then you need to be dumb enough to let a scammer do your taxes. You need to be dumb enough to let a scammer be your credit repair specialist. You need to be dumb enough. If you're dumb enough to follow a single relationship coach who is not living like Apostle Paul, see, it's an if he or she living like Apostle Paul or Apostle Paulina, okay, and God authorized them to write 13 books of the Bible like he did Paul, that's different. Other than that, I can't hear you. You got to show me what you're talking about. You have to show me what you're talking about because I cannot hear you if you can't show me what you're talking about. Listen, it's time out for the games. We as a people being duped by single relationship coaches. And y'all buying the books, y'all buying the courses. So what y'all doing now is you creating more minions. You creating more minions because when these demons see that a fraud can sell hundreds of thousands of books, sell out venues, get on the biggest podcast in the world, get on all the big podcasts, then what you think these frauds gonna do? They're gonna create more frauds. So now we can't even have a healthy ecosystem of people helping people. And it's one thing if you learning as you going and then you implementing what you learning. That's different. These people ain't even implementing what they talking about. Because I talk to 3, 4 women a day in a coaching session that is wife ready. And yet these single relationship coaches acting like they can't find a wife. Come on now. Come on now. And we doing it to ourselves. So listen, if you dumb enough to follow a single relationship coach, and I ain't talking about no life coach now. Cause I just did a TV show and the co-host is single and we on a couples retreat but she a life coach. She talking to them about their life, about their personality, about their attitude. And then it correlates to love and relationship. That's different. These single relationship coaches is calling themselves relationship experts, and they touring around the world as relationship experts and ain't even sniffing engagement. And that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous because we dumb. We are dumb. If we not, let me tell you something. If you dumb enough to follow a single relationship coach, then you need to go on, put it on that channel that they have the 600-pound life, and you need to hire one of them cast members to be your personal trainer and your dietitian and your nutritionist. If you dumb enough to follow a single relationship coach, because it's getting ridiculous. And those of us who out here living what we teaching to the best of our ability, and we still struggling. We still going through. Me and my wife, we still gonna have disagreements. We still gonna have fallout. But guess what? We gonna get a lesson from it. We gonna get a lesson from it. And every lesson I get, that's what I'm gonna talk about. So listen, God forbid, if I went through a divorce, then guess what? I'm gonna teach you how not to go through a divorce. I'm gonna teach you how not to go through a divorce. I ain't gonna teach you how to make a relationship work if I ain't make it work. If I don't know what it takes to make it work, because you don't know what you talking about till you could do it. You don't know what you talking about till you could do it, because it look different than it sound. It look different than it sound. When you try to enact what you talking about, praise the Lord, Sheriff. Sheriff trying to send me a blessing. When you try to enact what you talking about, that's when you gonna figure out what you talking about. That's when you gonna learn that what you thought you knew, you ain't know. Listen to me now. Listen to me. And just like the pastors who getting divorces, that's why I appreciate the ones who don't get up there and preaching on love relationships. If you're gonna preach on love relationships, then preach about why you went through a divorce and what caused that divorce. That. But don't tell me how to make it work now if you ain't make it work. Because you don't know what you're talking about until you could do what you're talking about. Now here go Palo Alto out there want to play and have me on this here number. I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Jesus. Number change. Palo Alto gonna hit the pause button, trying to be funny. Now listen to me. We got to create a groundswell of responsibility. I remember when them boys started their financial podcast. I could tell by the questions they was asking they had bad credit. I could tell by the question they were asking they didn't have a clue what they were talking about, and that's why they were interviewing those people. And I could tell that they were being enlightened on every interview. And now they got the biggest blight podcast in the world. Earn Your Leisure. But they grew with their podcast. They grew with it. They got the knowledge. They changed their business structure. They implemented things. They ain't come in as experts or claiming to be experts. They came in and they was interviewing and they were learning. You could tell they were learning. And then they started getting together, getting ducks in a row. And guess what? I like that when you grow. But if you've been around here a decade talking about love and relationships and still single, something wrong with you. It's something wrong with you. Because love ain't broke. Love ain't broke because God ain't broke. Relationships ain't broke. If you got all the knowledge in the world about love and relationship, but you can't create love, something wrong with you. And we have to stop being puppets, and we got to stop being dummies to go and reinforce this. And the sad thing, and this is why I have to do what I do. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of talking about love and relationships. But I got to. Because if I shut up, it's going to be all frauds. If I shut up, it's going to be all frauds. It ain't enough of us. It ain't enough of us. Right now, and I'm praying for this brother. Right now, on a real scale, on a real level, it's me and RC. And I'm praying for him. And I know he praying for me. Because we the last of the Mohicans. Or the ones that's been doing it for a while. And we don't talk to each other. You know why we don't talk to each other? Because we know how men are. We know that don't now man know another man behind the scenes. And we know that a man could be talking one thing and living another. So although we have a distant respect, we still watching. We still watching. Because we still trying to see if we real. And I'm going to tell y'all women something. And y'all turn y'all sound up on this right here, ladies. Y'all turn y'all sound up. Ladies, listen to me. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all don't know nothing. Y'all do not know nothing about love and relationships. Y'all do not know nothing about a man. Because what y'all women have showed me on a grand, and cause see, I'm gonna tell you what YouTube do. YouTube show me what my subscribers watch. Y'all ain't know YouTube tell on you, did you? YouTube show us what our subscribers watch. And the channels that y'all be watching, it let me know that my subscribers' discretion is in the trash. This the trash can right here. This the trash can right here. This a cup holder. This the trash can. Y'all discretion is like this right here. Y'all discretion is under the trash. This the trash can now. Women, y'all discretion under the trash can. I say, oh my goodness. Because it's women who is making single relationship coaches millionaires. It's women who making out of shape trainers millionaires. It's women who making bald head women hair growth oil sellers. Now listen, I'm finna buy some hair growth oil from a woman who ain't seen her edges in the last 15 years. Y'all women will buy anything. As men, we do not do that. Now, men made the brother who died famous not because he was giving relationship advice. They made him famous because he was bashing women. That's why. That's what. And Cash Mercy Hush. Nobody said being married make you an expert. Did I say that? No. I said you should not be a relationship expert if you're not married. So you just proved my point right there. If you married and you can't be an expert, then what make you think single is gonna make you an expert? And we ain't talking about single and dating because a man ain't done nothing for you till he walk you down the aisle. Dating don't pay no bills. Dating don't leave no will. Dating don't give you no alimony. Dating don't do nothing for you. A man ain't gave you nothing till he give you a ring. And even when he give you the ring, he still ain't gave you it all until he give you consistency. He still ain't gave it to you. So that's what you got to understand. And stay out the comments not knowing what you're talking about. Point blank, period. And listen to what I'm saying and don't put words in my mouth. Listen to what I'm saying. What you got to realize, I've been married 16 years. And I talk about love and relationships, and I want you to go online right now. Go online and go online and look in my bio on TonyGaskins.com. Look in my bio on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter. And I want you to find one place. I want you to find one place that I call myself an expert. I have never called myself a relationship expert. And I'm seeing people who ain't paid no dues, who ain't never been in the field on a real level, got relationship expert everywhere they post their face at. You can't find one place that I done call myself a relationship expert. I never have and I never will. That's what some people call me. That's what some people, when they interview me, call me, and I have to correct them and say, I'm not an expert. I'm a servant. I'm doing this because I have to do it. I'm doing this because if I shut up, we ain't gonna have nothing but the wilderness. I've been doing relationship videos on YouTube the last 3 days, and it pains me. I'm sick and tired of talking about it. But if I don't keep talking about it, it's gonna be full of fakes. So I got to talk about it. And listen, we out here. And one thing I done learned about women is that most women, now there's some of y'all on this channel who done got it together, but most women, what I done learned is if it scratch your ear and you got an itch, you don't care what's scratching your ear if you got an itch. You don't care if the lit fuse of some TNT is scratching your ear if you got an itch. It's a lot of women that do not care if the tip of a machete is scratching their ear if they got an itch. And that's what y'all doing with these single relationship coaches. You're letting them come and give you 5th grade game, teach you 5th grade game, and y'all all ears. So guess what? Guess what? I just went to the bank, right? I went to my bank and I applied for a car loan. They approved me for $173,000. I'm gonna give you this analogy, and for those of y'all, it's some ignorant people who think when I mention this kind of stuff, I'm bragging or something. Shut up and get your life together now. And I gotta talk to you real now. I don't talk like these other people talk, who trying to be all that right there, Papa and all that, so they try to get all these advertisements. Listen, I work for the Lord. I went to the bank and I applied for a car loan because I just was being nosy. I just wanted to see something because I was about to get my wife a Range Rover for our anniversary, and they approved for $173,000. Guess what? When I got that $173,000, all of a sudden I didn't know which car to get. When I ain't had no approval, I knew exactly what car to get. I knew exactly what I wanted. But as soon as I got that $173,000 approval, I all of a sudden had too many options. That is what y'all have done by watching the videos and buying the books and going to the seminars of single relationship coaches. Before these men got a microphone in their face, they knew exactly what kind of woman they wanted. But as soon as y'all made them famous as a single man, which we'll call that fangle, famous and single, fangle. As soon as y'all made them fangle, they forgot what they wanted. Now they got too many options. And now they don't know how to choose. Now they can't choose because there's too many options. Because as soon as you choose one, the next one got another feature. The next one got another option. So you can't choose. You can't choose. Because the next one, there you go. Boom. Right there. Right there. And that's what y'all have created. But guess what? Guess what's happening? And it's my fault too. Because my voice hold weight, a lot of these men marry in the next thing they meet because they tired of showing up in my speeches. So they just want to get married so that then they authorize to keep getting to the bag talking about love and relationships. But they end up going through a divorce because they got married for the wrong reasons and they got married on the wrong pretenses, on the wrong foundation. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of men who know who I am and they ain't calling me because they know I see through the bull. They know that. They know that. Because there's a lot of people that out here playing games and they trying to monetize love. They trying to monetize love. And they don't like somebody that's going to be outspoken and somebody that's going to be real. They want somebody that's going to lie. Somebody that's going to fake. That's what they want. And so listen to me. It's time to call these people to task. And it's time to hold these people accountable. Some people say, Tony, why you don't speak name? Because it ain't just one name. It ain't one name. It's thousands of these people. It's thousands of them now. So if I say a name, if I say anybody's name, then whoever name I don't say, they're gonna be like, oh, he ain't talking about me, and I am talking about him. If you single and you talking about love and relationships and you giving love relationship advice and you getting money and you single, you's a fraud. You need to be talking about single life. If you find peace in single life, then talk about the peace in single life. Talk about self-love. Do not mention marriage because you do not know what it takes to make a marriage work. If you have not made a marriage work, you do not know what it takes. Because at the level that I'm at the experience that I'm at, me and my wife still go through. We still go through. You hear me? The devil still is out here busy. Every single day. The devil still tempt me every single day. And I've been fleeing the devil for a decade and a half. For over a decade, I've been fleeing from the devil. But yet he still don't stop trying to tempt me. He still keep trying to show me, oh, Tony, hey, look at this woman here now. Hey, look at that woman there now. Hey, look at that woman there now. Hey, look at that old booty now. Hey, look at that right there now. Hey, you on the road, man. Man, you on the road, man. You can shoot your little shot, man. You can bomb. Hey, just go to the strip club with a disguise on and pay your old scripper, man, and go and get your little get it in. The devil still try me with all of that right there. And I got to resist the devil, resist the devil, resist the devil. That's why when I see a man go to talk about love relationship, and the same thing what happened with the brother. The brother who was in Hollywood. He in Hollywood, he a producer. But he decided he want to talk about love relationship. So he started talking about love relationship. He get married. Him and the wife, they write a book about love relationship. Next thing you know, go through a divorce. The reason why is because this ain't sweet. This ain't sweet. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. You got to put in real work. And it take both parties putting in real work. And when the man dropped the ball or the woman dropped the ball and people ain't doing what they're supposed to do, it's not going to work. So listen, this is what I had to come to. I had to come to the place where I say, Lord, I'm gonna do my work. I'm gonna do my work. And I say, if my wife don't do her work, I'm gonna call out about it. Because she called me out about me not doing my work now. So when I'm doing my work and she ain't doing her work, I'm gonna call out about it now. And I'm gonna let her know what I need. And I'm gonna be doing my work now, Lord. I'm gonna be slow to anger. I'm gonna have good temperament. I'm gonna have good communication. I'm gonna be 100% faithful. I'm gonna do all of that right there. And Lord, I'm gonna put my best foot forward. And if my wife ain't right, if my wife take a stupid pill, I'm leaving her. Y'all got to go. Got to go. Your Bible say, I say, Lord, you said if infidelity, divorce, I'm gonna love myself and I'm gonna be gone. And guess what? My wife the same way. If I ain't gonna do right, and I'm gonna step out and boop, 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 tiptoe and cheat on my wife, sleep with another woman, guess what? She'll be gone in a heartbeat. She'll be gone in a heartbeat. And so, because of that mutual respect, that's what we own. That's how we working. And I say, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. So I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do my work. And when I do my work, then I'm gonna see what happens. ABC, you not in the blessed tribe. You're not in the blessed tribe. And a subscribe is free. Subscribe don't mean support. And so if somebody on here out of line, they're gonna get timed out, and that's what the moderators do. So now don't you get timed out coming in here asking questions out of order. Okay? But everybody know you can't get your family to buy your product. So don't come on here calling a stranger that ain't never met a no supporter now. The blessed tribe members, they go to the next level, and I have to call that support because that right there could be putting food on their table. They saying, Tony, here you go. I'm gonna bless you with this right here. So don't come calling no subscription that's free support now. Because a lot of people subscribe just to hate. A lot of people subscribe just to make sure I ain't talking about them. You hear what I'm telling you? So you got to come on here right now. So understand that now. And y'all start jumping out of the order now because the moderator, this right here, chat ain't for all the riffraff. The word of the Lord going forward. Kendra, God bless you now. And somebody else had sent a blessing up there. God bless you. I missed the blessing because I'm up here in the flow. L, God bless you now. So we got to take these people to task. And if you're going to go on somebody's page who, if they are a single relationship coach, then you need to be in that comment, when you going to get married. Because I'm tired of you giving me marriage advice. And this is the thing. These single men who talking on love relationships and these single women who talking on love relationship, men and women will take their advice into their marriage. They'll take their advice into their marriage and use these people video, and that don't even work. It don't translate into a marriage. Because when you get married, you're gonna realize something. I'm gonna tell you a lesson that I learned in marriage. Because here I was married, but I was climbing. And then I started making 7 figures. My company started doing 7 figures. So when I hit 7 figures, I was like, hold on now. Okay, if I'm a provider, and this is what I want y'all ladies to understand, and this is why I want you to get this lesson, but this is a lesson that marriage teach that single life not gonna teach. If you want a provider, and you say, well, he provide, I'm gonna cook and clean. But guess what? When that man start making $1 million, or that man making $100,000, his flesh, before he has been sat down by the Lord, is gonna look and say, well, is she doing $1 million worth of dishes? There's no such thing. Is she cooking $1 million worth of dinners? There's no such thing. Is she having $1 million worth of sex? There's no such thing. So You can't equate money to these acts of service and to submission because it doesn't equate. Because money can't really buy those things. Yeah, it could buy a chef, it could buy a maid, it could buy a nanny, it could buy those things, but it can't buy somebody that got your back. It can't buy somebody that till death do you part. It can't buy somebody that is one flesh with you. It can't buy that. But when a man go to making money, he want to feel like he buying something. And that's what I went like, whoa, hold on now. I'm touching this money now. And I'm touching this money. And this clown over here talking about he's sleeping with his wife 3 times a week. Now what's going on now? What? Hey, hold on. The red pill, the Mano spirit talking about they sleeping together 4 times a day. Scottie Pippen ex-wife say she out here was giving. She say she was breaking Scottie off 4 times a day. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Now I'm a good man. Now I'm a better man than Scottie now. Hold on. Now can I get once a day? But then it hit me. It hit me. I say, you know what? If I come together with my wife one day, the next day I'm still sold. I'm still sold because it's just me and my wife. Now if she was out here hopping around from pole to pole to pole to pole like these women that these men be sleeping with, these type of men out here that be sleeping with these women that's sleeping with a different man every other night. Yeah, you gonna be able to keep sleeping with her all the time, because you out there got your rope pedal in the ocean. You got your rope pedal in the ocean. But when you put your rope pedal in the sleeve that zip it up, it's finna be sold if you keep pulling it in and out. And so I had to realize, hold on now, Tony. So then I made my wife feel bad. She went to cooking 3 days in a row. After the third day, I'm like, man, I want to eat out. So then I'm like, I'm tired of home cooked food, man. Give me some Taco Bell. I'm tired of all this seasoning. So then I realized, okay, Tony, so you don't want to have that every day. You don't want no home cooked meal every day. So what is this argument that these men making? That, oh, I make this amount of money, I'm supposed to be getting this amount of service. That don't equate. That almost ruined me and my wife. I had to learn that she's not a robot. And then what the Lord hit me, and this what come in being a Christian. This what the Muslims, God bless y'all, the Buddhists. Well, I don't know what Muslims say, the Quran, because boy, one thing, two people get mad when I talk about them. Chinese and Muslim. Oh my goodness. Now y'all okay hearing about everybody else. I talk about black people, I talk about lace fronts, I talk about everything. But when the Chinese and the Muslim hear their name, oh my goodness, they get in their feelings. Listen, you're on the wrong page. But listen to me. When you a Christian, you are told, love your wife as Christ loved the church. So I said right there, so when I thought about that, I said, you know what? Christ covered a multitude of sin for people who will never meet him. A lot of people ain't gonna meet Christ, and he still died for their sins. But they're not gonna accept him, they're not gonna believe in him, so they're not gonna meet him. And he died for their sins too. And so if he telling me to love my wife the way Christ loved the church, then how can I not suffer the wrong as a man when I feel like my wife ain't serving me enough? She ain't cooking enough. She ain't sleeping with me enough. She ain't touching me enough. She ain't affirming me enough. How can I not suffer the wrong? How can I not say, let me shoulder the burden. Let me shoulder the load. Let me keep operating in love. Let me show more love. Instead of pulling my love back, instead of pulling my love back, let me pour out more love. Let me pour out more grace. Let me pour out more understanding. And that's the shift I had to make. But you don't learn that. See, as a man that's single, you don't learn that a woman really don't want to have sex most of the time. Because in the grand scheme of things, it's boring. Because it's only so much you could do. It's only so much you could do. And so you got to understand something. Now, I don't know who somebody keep mentioning somebody. Don't come on here mentioning names. I don't know who you talk about. Talking about Tony and such. I don't know who that is. Don't be putting that on here now. And so if somebody on here now, y'all need to say something. Cause y'all I don't be stabbing people now, cause I don't know who that is. So if the person on here and y'all shout somebody out, if you on here on my page getting shout out, then I need to know you. If you on my page getting a shout out now, I need to know you. You need to be in my DMs or something. Hey Tony, I'm doing what you doing. What's going on? If I ain't heard from you now, then don't be on here getting shout outs now. So listen to me. It's something that a single man not gonna realize that you're gonna learn in marriage. In marriage, you're gonna learn. And when you talk to married people, that's why people say that. That's why people say that. People say, okay, when you get married, the sex slow down. You know why it slow down? Because it ain't just about y'all. When you have children, now it's about the children. Now it's about the children. Now it's about, okay, somebody sent me a thing. I don't know who the shoemake way is, but hey, God bless you. God bless you. I sure appreciate you. I seen some people shine you out. I thought you was from the red pill. Precious, God bless you too, and welcome to the new members. When it's about your kids, so guess what? My wife, we wear 12 outfits a day. We wear 12 outfits a day. So she got to do laundry nonstop. I hired a laundry person. She said, I don't like the way she fold. I don't like the way the clothes smell. So she want to do them herself. So she doing laundry nonstop. Hired a house cleaner. She said, I don't like the way they clean. They don't clean the corners enough for me. They ain't clean it right. I want to do it myself. My wife is an independent woman. She's very independent. So I can't hire no help. She won't let me hire no nanny. She won't let me hire no cleaner. She just let me get a cook. But that young lady, she working with me in my company and she cooking. My wife let me do that, but my wife don't eat the food. She won't eat the food. She ate some of it today. So Giovanni, my wife ate some of your food today, but she won't eat the food. She just very in her way. She very that type of person, Jamaican. And so my wife go to bed about 1 a.m. Then she wake up at 4:30. She's sleeping 3.5 hours, 4 hours because of the workload that she put on herself. But she do that because she don't, in her mind, she don't want to feel like a taker. So if I'm making 7 figures and I'm spending millions of dollars, if I'm making a million and spending a million, and she is benefiting from my mindset and my work ethic and my business and my grind, she don't want to just kick back. So she put in a whole lot of work. So in marriage, I then have to explain to her, baby, listen, I'd rather a dirty house and an orgasm than no orgasm and a clean house. I'd rather eat McDonald's and be intimate with my wife than to not be intimate with my wife and to have a 7-course home cooked meal. I had to explain that. And then I got to take care of me too, because when I'm dealing with y'all and I'm dealing with taking care of people, when I'm doing all that, that's draining. So it's a lot of time what I had to learn is a lot of time I don't feel like, a lot of time I don't feel like being intimate. It's a lot of times I'm tired because I'm drained shooting videos and I'm coaching. So right now I'm coaching probably 3-4 hours a day. I never do that. But it's the beginning of the year. So I let people sign up and I did a discount on my coaching sessions, which I'm not supposed to do. And I have to pay the price for that. So I'm gonna move a little closer to where my son get out or practice at. I'm gonna have to go in a minute because my son about to be out of practice. So here I am. At the end of the night, I'm drained. I'm drained. At the end of the night, y'all got me give me a shot of cognac. At the end of the night, I got to get me a shot of cognac with some ginger ale. I'm like, oh my goodness. After listening to everybody's problems and giving everybody a multi-million-dollar business plan all day, I got to have me a shot of cognac or a glass of red wine that Jesus turned into wine. And so here I am. I'm tired. I'm drained. So where a lot of men talking about set. Listen, I ain't got the energy. And then my wife ain't got the energy. And I'm gonna tell you something that I learned in marriage. Let me tell you something that I learned in marriage that y'all don't want to hear. That a single relationship coach can't tell you. Let me tell you what a single relationship coach can't tell you. Do you know what feels better than sex? Do you know what feels better than sex? Being able to give your family any and everything that they need and a lot of what they want. That feels better than sex. I'm gonna tell you what feels better than sex. When you see your kids able to have everything they need. Let me tell you what feels better than sex. Good conversation. To be able to lay down and just talk and laugh and joke and just spend time and just that feel better than sex. Because if your sex going longer than now unless you on that yike, then you might get to 30 minutes. But other than that, your body gets sore because your body made to each other. So if you take your hand, if you take your hand and you put a glove on your hand and you take that glove off, put that glove on, take that glove off, put that glove on, take that glove off, put that glove on, take that glove off, put that glove on. I don't care how much Vaseline you got on your hand, your knuckle gonna get raw, and that glove gonna get wore out. So when you get into a marriage, you realize that sex is overrated. You learn in marriage that sex is a plus, not a priority. But single, horny people will tell you it's a priority. But when you get into a marriage, you realize that it's so much more that God has created and given us access to that feel better than sex. Yeah, sex feel good. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, you could do everything in the world. But it's only so many tricks in the book. It's only so many tricks in the book. And some of them tricks get to getting out of hand. Whoa, hold on. Now, whoa. Now, hold on. What was that now? Hold on. Dude. Let's rewind that now. Let's come on. Listen now. My name ain't Christian Gray. Now, listen. No. And then you start to realize, no. This ain't what they say it is. And you know who wants sex the most? Single people. Because you got a fantasy in your head. But when you really get it and you can have it every day, it's just like anything that you can have every day. Anything you can have every day, you no longer want it that much. Now you want other things. And that's what single relationship coaches can't tell you. They're gonna tell you now. But you're gonna be able to say, well, how you know that? You're not married. So you heard that from Tony Gaskin. They finna tell you now. So listen to me. Here go my son. I gotta get off here because talking about grown folk stuff, and yeah, he know a little bit about it, but you know. But this right here bring me joy. Being able to have my dream vehicle when I became a speaker, and being able to drive my son like he a celebrity, but then also having to punch him in the chest to keep him humble, just to let him know, just because you riding in his vehicle don't mean you done made it. So he thought this guy. So, but that made me feel good knowing that my son could get in this right here, and knowing that I ain't have that. That feel better than that what we was just talking about. And that's what a married man who raising his kids in the household, a married relationship coach can tell you. Can't tell you that. So let me teach y'all something that I want you to walk away with. Sex is a plus, not a priority. It's a plus, not a priority. A single relationship coach can't tell you that. And if they felt like that in their dating relationship, they was in a dead end dating relationship. Because now when you dating, oh, you knocking the wheels off. You like little bunny rabbits. But when you get married, man, you got different priorities. You got different focus. Life change. My son back there making his little noises. So let me get on off of here. We are talking about grown folks stuff. He got to do his little work. He said I can take the camera off now. I just love my son, man. He just y'all just see just handsome, smart, chemistry kicking his butt right now. And he got a 90, he got a 91. He got a 91 today, and I'm just so proud of him because it's really been having him in a chokehold. And he got his first B plus. That was in chemistry, right, son? He in the 10th grade, and he just had his first B plus. And he take 2 AP classes. Got about a 4.6 GPA. And play at the highest level of youth soccer that you allowed to play at. Other than after this right here, the next level for him at his age would have to be pro. It's not a higher level of youth soccer. He played at the highest level. Every city and every county don't have this level of soccer though. So a lot of y'all, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about because it's not everywhere. It's only in certain cities, certain areas. And he start. So he's starting on the team. Nah, they lose about every game, but they still good. It just they got to work some kinks out. But he start on the team, and y'all got to realize my son they already know I'm real because I talk to him way realer than what I'm talking to y'all. But listen to me, he start on the team, and he got straight A's. Well, other than that B minus, but he done got 2 B plus. What? But now he bringing it up, so we getting back to the A's. But listen to me, that right there, that feel better than that what we was talking about. That feel better. A single relationship coach can't tell you that. Can't help you understand the joys of raising children in the house with your wife. That's stuff that you gonna learn. It's stuff that you gonna learn. So when somebody giving advice in 5 years of marriage, I say wait to 10 years. When they give it at 10 years, I say wait to 15. The advice I'm giving at 16, you know what I say to myself? All right, Tony, wait to 20. Wait to 25. Because I know every year I'm going to learn something different. And that's why I say we need marriage and we need love. And we need people to come together. And we need love and marriage because we need unity. And we need stable households. We need these things. And so in order to have these things, single relationship coaches got to shut up and go implement what they talking about. They know. I can't hear what you're saying. Show me what you're talking about. And then when you show me what you're talking about, now you become an example for other people to show you what they talking about. And then when we do that, now we can have healthy and whole families. And now we can, when we have healthy and whole families, guess what? It's going to be hard for my son to get in the teenage pregnancy statistic. It's going to be hard for him to get in the teenage gang statistic. It's going to be hard for him to do any of that because I'm breathing down his neck. I'm right there on him every day. I'm in his face every day. And that's what we need. But single relationship coaches out here giving that half truth, out here giving that raggedy advice, and it's just keeping people single just like they single. So now we got a bunch of single people giving love and marriage advice and staying single and not having kids. So you're not pushing
the story forward. And then it's us, it's black people that's doing it. I have not seen an Asian single relationship coach. I don't know if the white boy, Matthew Hussey, I don't know if he's single, but I done heard his name. I ain't never listened to his stuff because most of them don't play the game like we could play the game, like we played the game. So I really ain't trying to, and it's different. It's just different, whole different demographic. And a lady did coaching with me the other day and said something. And the reason why I say a white name, because as black men, we already toe down. We already toe out the frame. So a white man, he could afford to come down a couple rungs, a couple notches, because the world eat out his hand. And to the white men who listening, God bless you. But that's just the way I see the world, and that's honestly the way it is. And when you look at your situation and your advantages and your opportunities in life, you got advantages that you don't even realize you got. I can help you realize them if you don't understand it. And if you don't know your advantages, I'll show them to you. Because if I can make $1 million, you can make 10 million. I'll show you that. Because it's ways that I'm being looked at that you're not gonna be looked at. So for those of y'all that's offended by that right now, just understand I got to keep it all the way real with you. But see, it's a lot of the single relationship coaches, they trying to get on the white podcast, so they can't tell you the truth about the race relations and about the difference. They can't tell you the truth because they don't want to step on no toes with the truth. But my truth is my truth. And that's what got to be understood. So I got to tell it like it is is. And so what's happening is these single relationship coaches, they staying single. So they making other people think that, oh, just stay single, and just talk about love relationships and make money from it, but stay single, stay single. And so then when you stay single, if you have kids, you having kids out of wedlock. So now you're not raising your children in the home. So although you could raise your children, and although they could become the president, although they could become LeBron James, although they could, do big things, they still gonna have a void. They still gonna be missing something. They still gonna be missing something by not being in the home with you as a man. And the single moms can attest to that. They can tell you, hey, my son is missing something. My daughter is missing something. And I'm doing everything I can. And I coach women who are in tears because they saying I'm doing everything I can, but their daddy is sorry. The daddy's sorry. And I hear that and my heart goes out. And that's why I'm telling everybody, if you're gonna speak on love and relationships, then you need to speak on it in a way that is promoting it, not tearing it down. It need to be promoting it. And if you're gonna speak on it, then the best way you can promote it is to live it, to have it, to breathe it, to truly believe in it. Because if you don't have it, you don't really believe in it. If you could talk about it for a decade and can't get it, then you're doing more harm than you is doing good. And that's the problem. That's the problem. So what I'm asking y'all is to go sit down with the stock person and learn how to do stocks and stop talking about love and relationships. Go sit down with the wholesaler, the real estate wholesaler. Go sit down with the tax preparer, with the certified financial planner, and get your license in that. Go sit down with the car flipper and flip cars, flip houses. And you single, stop preaching on love and relationships, on marriage. Preach on single life. Preach on self-love. Preach on having self-love as a single, if you want to talk about it. And stop giving the half truth about love and relationships, because then you got people dating wrong. And they dating wrong, and then they get into wrong relationships because you gave them a half truth that ain't never been tested, tried, and true, because you're not married, but calling yourself a relationship expert. You're not a relationship expert. You a single life expert. And that's what got to be understood. And we got to do better. So, hey, God bless y'all. I ain't looking at y'all for those people who be getting scared. Oh, covered by the blood of Jesus, doing what I'm called to do, what I'm purposed to do. And this is what you can do when you're called to do it. Be on live, holding the tripod, driving, without looking at the camera when you call to do it. God bless you. That ain't arrogance, that's confidence. With the knowledge of the Lord comes a strong confidence. That's what you also need to understand. It's offend your insecurities. Point blank, pure odd. So, hey, this Tony Gaskins, and I'm gonna tell you, when I get on here now, listen, it go up to another level. People who know me in person don't know this side of me, because when I'm speaking under the conviction of the Lord, it's gonna come off differently. And y'all got to remember, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ flipped tables over, and what they calling them now, they calling him a dangerous Jesus. Flip tables over. So when I'm and right now, I'm coming to flip tables because I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of the proselytizing and the perpetrating and the capitalization of single relationship coaching. It's different if you getting paid to teach something that you actually do. But if you getting paid to teach something that you cannot do, that you have not done, then you're a scammer and you're a fraud and you need to be put in jail. Need to shut up because the people deserve better. I don't teach on finances because I don't manage money. I don't got a financial channel because I'm not focused on that. I'm not focused on that. That's not my focus. That's not the biggest thing in life to me. Love move the world forward. Love mean more to me than money. So I'm focused on love over money, and I let the money experts talk about money, and I let them talk about money, and I choose what to listen to and what not to listen to. I don't give dieting advice and all of that type of advice because I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a personal trainer. You'll see me working out, but I'm not finna make no fitness channel when I know I don't like fitness. I'm not finna talk on nutrition when I know I just had me some fried chicken. But what I'm gonna talk on is love and relationships because that's what I'm perfecting every day. And so that's what I'm asking y'all. I'm pleading with you. You're hurting the people by teaching on something that you don't have real life success in. And I ain't talking about experience because it's a difference between experience and success. Because your experience could have been a loss and you could have learned a lesson, but you learn a lesson from a failure. You learn a lesson from a loss. So therefore, you could teach how to lose. You could teach what you did to lose, but you cannot teach how to win. Because although you may think that winning means doing the opposite of what you did to lose, that's not necessarily true. So you got to go implement it. And then if you see that doing the opposite of what you did to lose produces a win, now you know that that particular nugget holds some weight. And then you teach that. And that's what got to be understood. So, hey, this Tony Gaskin. God bless you. We done been on here. We done been on here? An hour and 42 minutes. I'm planning to go an hour and a half. If you missed any part of this and you listening live right now, listen back to it because there's something in there for you. And if I stepped on your toes, I want you to understand the truth only step on your toes when you walking out of line. The truth only step on your toes when you walk out of line. That's my original quote. Quote me on it. The truth only steps on your toes when you walking out of line. So understand that. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Because Apostle Paul say that sorrow leads to repentance. So I can't be apologetic for the truth that we need as a people to move forward. It's a truth that we need as a people to move forward and to heal and to be whole. So if you miss any part of this, go back and listen back to it and get this here in your spirit. But God bless you, and we'll talk soon. And to the Blessed Tribe, thank y'all so much for subscribing to the Blessed Tribe, to the Patreon. If you're not on my Patreon, it's patreon.com/Tony Gaskins. And it's a support group. It's just supporting me to help me do what I do. And because YouTube forever changing, it's not really, you can't bank on it. So the support, it goes a long ways. I really appreciate it. And Blessed Tribe, Patreon, to the Growth Club, our group coaching. That right there is a sacrifice. It's people canceling, every day because of the financial sacrifice. It's $47 a month, but $47 is not affordable to everybody. So to those of y'all making that sacrifice to be in the Growth Club, I really appreciate you. And if you want to join it, you'll see it. The Growth Club is on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. And I got 50 other courses on there too, if that's not for you. Just one-off courses. But for all the support and even to the subscribers who not in the Blessed Tribe, um, who you use YouTube for what it is. It's free knowledge, free information, and that's why I show so much love to the Blessed Tribe because that's another level. That's what I call support because real support, honestly, it's gonna cost you. It's like think about it. If your friends start a business and they selling T-shirts and you don't buy a T-shirt, you're not supporting them. Saying congratulations, that ain't support. So that's why I show so much love to the Blessed Tribe and the Patreon and the students of Tony Gaskins Academy because that's a sacrifice. That costs something. That's a sacrifice, and that's blessing me and to do this work and to do the work in an honest and authentic manner because I'm coming to you right here and I'm driving and I'm coming to you, whereas my constituents, if that's the word, my constituents, my colleagues, they sitting at a desk. They sitting at a desk with 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras, with a whole team shooting and editing. And now I'm about to have me something like that. I'm about to do a little bit of that, but I ain't gonna never put this here camera down myself. But a lot of people producing their shows with a whole team, and I ain't knocking them, but I'm out here on another kind of grind. And so that's why I show love to those that support me because I'm out here really putting in work. This taxing and toiling me because I got to do this. I got to focus on the hill road and try to deliver a coherent message at the same time because my son is doing his homework right now, so I can't talk to him because he got his headphones on studying for his work because he got AP classes and got to maintain straight A's in order to fulfill his potential because he is capable of that. So when I get home, I then got to be with my wife. And so I got to cut this camera off. So I got to run and gun and I got to do what I got to do when I can do it, how I can do it. And that's why it looked like this unpolished. Now I'm finna give you some polished stuff. And I want you to, when I give you the polished stuff, I want you to appreciate that the same way you appreciate the unpolished because I'm a man of many jackets, many facets to me. So it's just like in my fashion. I got Fruit of the Loom and Hanes and Target t-shirts that I wear, but I also got Prada. So one day I might pull up on you in Prada, and the next day I'm in some basketball shorts and a t-shirt. One day I might have on a pair of shoes that cost $1,000, and the next day I got on a pair of shoes that cost $100. So the same thing I say, you're gonna see some production that costs $1,000, and you're gonna see production that costs $100. And so I want you to appreciate and get it all. And what I'm finna do is you're gonna see what I'm gonna do. I can't tell you what I'm gonna do because what you're gonna see though is innovation. What you're gonna see innovation. What you're gonna see is something when a man is locked in and focused, and he is married, and he 100% faithful to his wife, and he taps into the favor that God has for him. Because a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord. So it's a lot of people that want to get with this favor, that want to get up under this favor because they have not tapped into that favor. There's no single man in the world that is, or no married man who is cheating that can tap into this level of favor. They could have favor now, but the favor ain't gonna be the same. So when the Bible say a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord, that type of favor is not the same favor that Jacob and them gave their sons. That ain't the same kind of favor. And so I want men to understand that because I was in the world, I was single and a Christian. I was single and a sinner, but still a Christian. We all sin. I was married, but not focused on loving my wife the way Christ loved the church. For the first 2 years of my marriage, I ain't fully understand that. Still don't fully, still learning and growing. But when I tapped all the way in, I went to another level of favor that I can't explain to you. But I know this favor can't be duplicated. This favor can't be duplicated. I'm gonna give you an example. I went on them young ladies podcast, the Know For Sure podcast, and they posted a mashed up reel. They pulled different little parts of the interview and posted it as a reel, and that reel got twice as many views as they ever had. After that reel, their followers went through the roof. My followers went up. That's the favor of God. That's the favor of God. Not no other of their guests was a married and 100% faithful man of God who's talking on what I'm talking on. And look what my reel did compared to every other reel that they posted. That's the favor of God. And I hope they realize that. I hope they see that and realize that that ain't just them. That's them coupled with the favor of God, with the favor that come with my life. And the same thing when I went on the other podcast. If they trying to do something good, now if they ain't trying to do nothing good, ain't nothing gonna come of it. Like Def Comedy, I went on there, the comedy hype or whatever. The channel is not changing nobody's life. It's just entertainment. It's just whatever. The interview ain't do nothing. It was the wrong angle, took the wrong angle. But when somebody bring and they do an interview with me and they trying to move people's lives forward, they trying to touch lives, the Lord touch it. They touch it. He touch it and it receives favor. And that's what I try to get married men to understand, because you got to realize, men, we go where the favor is. And what a lot of single men don't understand is that the favor that you receive in marriage, it cannot be. And I'm gonna tell you, I said this on the Breakfast Club, and before I said that, I never once heard Charlemagne say that. When Charlemagne went on the pivot, he said exactly what I said on the Breakfast Club. He said that he want to hear men talking about how their life changed after they got married. Charlemagne, I said that right in your face on the Breakfast Club. So he went on the pivot and he said that, and he said, look at my life since I done got married, since I've been focused on my wife, like focused and faithful, not just married, but married. See, you got to have focus and you got to have faithfulness. I made this up. One of my little mentees, he done took it and changed the F. Faithfulness, focus, and then you receive favor. I call it the 3 F's. You got to have faithfulness and focus, then you receive the favor. And so what I want single men to understand is there is no feeling in your life like being married and 100% faithful. Being married and not emotional cheating and not physical cheating. There is no feeling and no level of favor that compares to that. And I'm here to tell you. And this is what I want y'all to realize and understand. And so get this here in your spirit. And don't just go get married just for favor. Get married because you want to move the story forward. Get married because that is your duty as a man. God ain't give you no dang-a-lane that releases a chemical that fertilizes an egg and replenishes the earth for you to be single. The only way God called a man to be single is if you are 100% devoted to the work of God. And y'all single men are not 100% devoted to the work of God. Y'all devoted to get into your bag. Let's be all the way honest. Like somebody say, let's keep it a buck. I don't know what that mean and where that come from. But somebody say, let's keep it a buck. So if y'all want to keep it a buck, the only thing single men is getting to is their bag. We do not see a now single man who resemble Apostle Paul. So if you don't resemble Apostle Paul, if your work ethic, if your grind, if you ain't going from city to city, country to country, sharing the word of God, then you need to get married. Because that's the only way that you are permitted by the Bible to be single, is to be doing the work of the Lord. And if you sleeping with anybody, Guess what? If you sleeping with anybody and you are single, you is in sin. You in sin. You not doing the work of the Lord. And if you saying the name of God, you playing with God, and you're gonna be smited. You are going to be smitten if you is in sin willingly, because you don't trip and fall into no woman between a woman's legs. You have to make up your mind to lay down between them legs. Ain't now man ever tripped and fell inside a woman. So if you saying the name of the Lord and you are in sin willingly, you gonna go through. You're gonna pay a grave price because you playing with the Lord. And I'm trying to urge y'all to stop playing with the Lord. And I'm gonna tell you, and I honestly, man, it hurt me. Like I did not rejoice. There was a lot of people that rejoiced when that brother died. The brother who had the podcast in the dark, and he used to be up there with this thing spinning on his desk, and he drinking Red Bull. But one day I did a video, and I said, listen, God is for marriage, and God is against fornication. So if you are making a living by condoning fornication and speaking against Christians and clowning Christians for being abstinent until marriage and making fun of it and telling women to fornicate with a man because the man has taken them out on a date or because they already have kids, that they don't deserve to wait until marriage because they have kids. I say, when you do that, you are expressly speaking against the word of God. You are telling people to be a sinner. And what people didn't realize, a lot of people didn't understand that because a lot of people don't have a moral compass. A lot of people don't know Christ. And so they were like, oh, he's trying to help the black family and help this right here. You're not helping the black family if you're not married and you're talking about love and relationships every single day and you're not pushing for marriage. You're not helping the black family. You're not helping the black family if you're condoning fornication, because fornication is going to lead to children out of wedlock. And children out of wedlock is going to lead to fatherless or motherless children. And that is not helping black people. What's helping black people is getting married and being faithful and starting a family of your own, whether you raising cats and dogs or adopted children or children that you have with your wife, surrogate, whatever, adopted, natural birth, whatever it is, but you moving the story forward, that's helping black families. And then the lesson that you learn on how to make it work, you teach that to the world. That's helping black families. Also going to help the white and the Asian and the Hispanic and the every other creed, nationality, race, color. It's going to help everybody. That's how you help the family. But you don't help the family. And so I did a video and I said, listen to me. If you are working against God, if your message is contrary to the word of God, you are going to suffer the wrath of God. And I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how big you think your thing is. I don't care how much talk game you think you got. You are going to suffer the wrath of God. And you do not want to see the wrath of God. And so, like the one man, he lost his life. He lost his life. Now the other man, he got put in prison for sex trafficking. And now they just let him out, I think they said. You're going to suffer the wrath of God when your message is promoting fornication, promoting demarriage, not getting marriage. You are going to suffer because God is for unity. God is for marriage. And if you're not going to get married, or if marriage is not coming your way,
then you need to be abstinent. You need not be sharing your body and sleeping around and doing all of that. So listen, we got to get this thing together because it's a price to be paid. It is a price to be paid. And I sent that warning. I sent that warning shot. And I let people know. I say, listen, God don't play. God don't play. Because see, I done experienced God in the realest way. I done sat and supped with the Lord. I done cried out to the Lord. I done put all my faith and everything in the Lord. And God has shown me over and over and over and over that God is real. God has shown me that He's real. And so that's why I don't play with God. Like what you got to realize. And this what upset me about the dummies. This what upset me about the dummies. Because a lot of dummies who say, oh, I bet Tony cheating on his wife. Oh, I bet Tony doing this. I bet Tony doing that. And it's like, boy, you dumb. You dumb. You think I'm finna play with God when I didn't experience God? Now listen, I done made every mistake in the book. I done made every bad choice. A bad choice is a mistake. A mistake is a bad choice. A lot of people try to differentiate. It's the same thing. I done made every bad choice you can make. But the thing about it is repentance. See, a lot of people make bad choice and they don't repent. They keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And when you're doing it, you spitting in the face of God. You trying to make a mockery of God, and God will not be mocked. So listen to me. I don't play. I don't play. Because don't you realize that right now I can go out and cheat? Because it is so easy to cheat. And I saw this when I was in the world. I literally could pick a woman up in the club. I literally could pick a woman up in the club, any woman, now by take her to the back seat of the car, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, go back into the club. That's how easy it is. I literally was out downtown, met a woman, spit game, took a bite to the crib. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. That's how easy it is. I could go out and get a woman who don't know me, who don't know me, who don't know my name, who don't know what I do, and boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. There are millions, I wouldn't say millions, there are thousands of women that will be okay being my side chick, that will be okay if I put them up in a condo, get them a car, pay their bills, fly in once a month, tell my wife I'm on business, sleep with them. I could even get them pregnant. They'll even have a child and they'll even raise that child secretly. And it's women on Instagram doing that. It's women out there that got a child, that got all of this stuff and never show you a man. You know why they don't show you a man? Because they man got another woman and they are comfortable being the side woman laid in the shade with G Wagons and all of this right here. I can go and do it. I can go, I got what it takes. Right now, I could show you I'm in a Mercedes Benz. I can show you another Mercedes right there. I bought an Escalade right there. I bought a Hellcat, a Mercedes right there, a Bentley. I could show you that I got what it takes to have me 2, 3, 4 other women. Do you hear me? But I will not play with God. And that's what make me, I literally be ready to put a, not no real hit, but a slap hit. You know, like I be wanting to hire somebody that they a slapper. That they just, all they do is slap. So when these guys get in the comment talking about I bet he cheating on his wife, I be wanting to get their address and just send my slapper to just ha what Tony got to do it ha yeah, yeah and just slap them down, and because that upset me because I could be doing that and I'm not doing it because I'm not finna play with God. If I get to the point where I'm not being respected in my marriage, I'm not getting what I need in my marriage, and I talk to my wife and we sit down and we talk about it, I'd rather walk away than to play with God again. I done played with God before. And I done dealt with the repercussions of it. I'm not here to play with God. I'm not finna play with God. If you a professional slapper, I give you $1,000. Right? Hey, hey, the rappers out there sending real life hits. Y'all better be glad all I'm trying to do is just get you slapped now. That's all. I give you a stike. Hey, seeing right there in the comments, speaking ill on my name. Find out, Google him, find out where he live at, and backhand him, and record it, send it to me, and I'm gonna cash app you $1,000 right there. And boy, listen, don't ever speak on my name. I love the Lord, but Lord, listen, I love the Lord now. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing a little bit, kind of, almost maybe.
Listen, Lord forgive me. Lord forgive me. Listen to me. I could be doing this because I know how it's done. I done been out there. I done played the game. I done played the game, and it's easy. Do you know the relationship I was in before my wife? When I was with that woman, I tattooed her name on my stomach. I got it covered up with a panther. She had my name on her hip. I slept with 26 other women while I was with her, and I was with her for 2 years. And I still know the number because I used to attach that to manhood. And do you know she did not know or find out about now one of them women? I had to tell her. That's how easy it is. A woman could be being cheated on and never know it because it's not hard for a man to get sex. That's the easiest thing for a man to get. It's harder for a man to get money than it is to get sex. It's harder for a man to get anything than it is to get sex because women, so many women are that easy. We talking about any kind of woman now. We talking about doctors. We talking about lawyers. We talking about preachers. We talking about school teachers. We talking about women who is in the church stomping and speaking in tongues will leave out the church and go get on their bike in fornication that same very day on a Sunday. Listen, thousands of women is doing that. It's women right here on this chat that is claiming the name of the Lord and living in fornication. It is not hard for a man to get sex. So when a man commits to being faithful to his wife, you bet we deserve our flowers. You bet we deserve our flowers. You bet we need our you bet we need our affirmation because it's so easy to be on the other side, but we choosing to do right. Yeah, we need to be pat on the back because it ain't enough of us doing it the right way. It need to be more of us. And that's what got to be understood. And that is why, listen to what I'm about to tell you. That is why a single man will never have the favor of God that come to a married and faithful man. Never, because it would not be fair. Because God know how he made us. God know he put a tick in us that make us think about sex every 15 seconds. God know how he made us. So he know if a man gonna sacrifice and be disciplined enough to get married and to be faithful when we think about sex every day, all day, even if we ain't got what it takes to get that thing to stand up, we thinking about it. So that's why God pour out the favor. That's why God pour out the favor. Because of the sacrifice that we making to be a man of God. It ain't gonna compare to a single man who in fornication, a man who and watching pornography and masturbating. It ain't gonna compare. His favor ain't gonna compare. So when he come and look, and, oh Tony, you got an office up here with 6 rooms in it, and you got an office at your house, and you got a whole gym, and you got 10 cars, and you got 8 businesses. Man, how you did all the favor of God? How you managing all these businesses? The favor of God. Listen to me. And when I stepped outside of the favor, when I got beside myself, it was because when I got beside myself, the devil attacked my wife. When I got beside myself, the devil attacked my wife. He sent an old flame who used to like her to start reaching out to her and texting her. The devil attacked my wife. And I had to talk to the Lord. We had to sit down. We had to say, hey, hold on now. Now, who this is? Now, what he texting about? What he talking about? I had to pull up on Buddy. But what the Lord say is he say, you ain't hearing from me. And so when you ain't hearing from me, what's going to happen is the devil going to see kinks in your armor. And when the devil see kinks in your armor, he going to try. Now, he didn't succeed. Now, but he going to try. I had to pull up on Buddy. I said, hey, now I know you want to be my wife friend, but you don't be no married woman friend. Not without the husband approving and knowing who you is. I say, boy, I already put a hit on your life, but I called it off when I found out you had a child. When I found out you had a child, I called the dogs off of you. But I said, let me tell you something, man.
I don't care what that woman doing. I don't care if that woman, because see, that woman could just be saying, this my friend. She don't know no better. Because women is naive. And y'all forgive me, ladies, but when y'all look at y'all track record of all these everything going on, y'all know what I'm talking about. I gotta keep it real with you now. The man in the dark ain't the only one keep it real with you. I'll keep it real with you too now. Women are naive. So that woman might not know what your motives is. But listen here, boy, I know what your motives is, because I know ain't no man trying to be just no woman friend. So I'm gonna tell you like this right here. She might be in a vulnerable space because of where my head at. But if you know and you come cross my line, boy, I'm gonna put you 6 feet under. And the Bible tell you that. The Bible tell you that. And if I got to go to hell for it, boy, I'll sit in hell and do that. But one thing you won't do, don't come knocking on my doorstep, boy. I'm gonna tell you that right there. Because that's disrespect as a man. That's man to man. I heard the rapper Lil Baby, he said, if your girl dealing with me, take that up with your girl. No, I'm gonna take that up with you because you a man. And you can't come from those streets and see men get killed over $5 and then think a man gonna keep his life over a whole woman. Come on now. That's the last thing to do. That's the last thing to do. That's why I told my wife to unfollow that man who wrote this lady. This lady follow me. I don't never heard of this lady. Do not know this lady. This man gonna write her and ask her what has been her experience with me, following me. And talking about I was a mentor of his. I don't know this man from a can of paint. And then he don't even follow me, but follow my wife. What did you follow my wife for? My wife don't post quotes. And my wife don't post booty pictures. What did you follow my wife for, man? If you ain't following me. Boy, I slap the taste out your mouth, boy. And see, that's where the Lord got to work on me at. The Lord know I done overcame cheating and all of that. What the Lord got to work on me is being ready to slap the taste out of somebody's mouth. That's what the Lord working on me. And that's why I try to tell y'all, ain't nobody perfect. But see, for me, I'm not finna be no single relationship coach. I'm not finna sit up here and give all this relationship advice and can't implement it and not tell you my weaknesses. I'm gonna let you know my weaknesses is. My weaknesses, I be quick to put a hit on somebody's life. That's my weakness right there. And Popeye chicken. Popeye send me a check. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna hit me a piece of fried chicken and I'm gonna sit and contemplate taking your life if you try me like a basil. That's the two struggles that I got. And so to every man that see this, if you don't follow me, don't follow my wife. Cause boy, you're sitting over there in lust and you're sinning. And just how Jesus flipped that table, I'm gonna flip that table, but I'm gonna make sure the corner hit you right in your two front teeth and knock them out. And we don't know who Jesus hit with the table when he flipped on the table. Lord, listen to me. But I'm tired of playing with you. I'm tired of playing with y'all single relationship coaches. And y'all about to have me calling names now. Y'all about to have me doing a campaign. Y'all better find something else to talk about and take a different angle. Take a self-love angle. And if you got a platform, stop giving a platform to single relationship coaches. That's dumb. If you're going to give your platform to a single relationship coach, then give your platform to somebody that's 600 pounds and let them tell us how to get abs. Give your platform to somebody with a 500 credit score and let them tell us how to get an 800 credit score. If you're going to give your platform, if you're going to interview a single relationship coach, then you need to interview somebody with one leg and let them tell us how to run a marathon with no legs, somebody with no legs. And let them tell us how to run and pace ourselves on the marathon. And they were born with no legs. If you're going to interview a single relationship coach, y'all have got to stop clout chasing. Because the devil will give a following to a dummy. And you know why the devil give followings to dummies? Because he's going to put them on the top of the mountain and he's going to have everybody follow them to the top of the mountain. And then when they get up there, the devil gonna give his minion a bright idea. And he gonna say, let's jump. And everybody gonna jump. And they gonna jump to the devil. And that's why the devil open up and give a platform to his minions so that they could lead people astray. And what the devil know is the devil know that his minions are going to do his work without a conscience. And the devil know that the people like myself is going to be quiet, and we're going to war in our spirit, and we're going to feel like quitting, because we're going to be saying to ourselves, why am I talking if nobody listening? Why am I talking if I can't get on the podcast, if I can't get on the platforms because of how I talking, because of what I stand on and what I believe on? Why am I talking? But listen, I'm finna sit down. I'm finna read the Bible, and I'm finna get with some theologians, and I'm finna find out what Jesus called names. And I'm finna see what Jesus went at people's throat with the truth. And if I see what Jesus went at throats with the truth, I'm finna start going at throats with the truth. And boy, it's finna be smoke in the city. You hear me? It's finna be smoke in the city. I'm telling you now. Because people out here dying. We out here losing families. Kids ain't got their daddy. Because single relationship coach want to sit up and talk about they were celibate for 5 years and then they ain't celibate no more. But they want to talk about love and relationship while they in fornication. So then they're going to have all these other people in fornication. And then we got kids raising themselves. Because their mommy and daddy was in fornication, but then didn't want to work it out. Families is losing. Because y'all idiots want to sit up and just want to make money, and you want to run your mouth when you could go sit down with the Wall Street trapper and learn how to trap on Wall Street. And shut up about relationships if you ain't gonna live it. Go sit down with the Earn Your Leisure and learn how to build business credit. Learn how to get you one of these here sprinters so you can write it off on session 179 because it's over 6,000 pounds. Go sit down and do you something. And shut up about relationships. If you not finna go out and pick out one of these 300 million single women who ready and ripe and supple for the picking, and y'all walking around here, it's hard to find a good woman. You know, I'm just such a special man that I'm just on such a level that it's just hard for a woman to match my level. Boy, shut up. Ain't nobody, you ain't on above nobody level. I can show you 1 million women tonight that's on a higher level than y'all boys out here with this single relationship coaching. And I'm going to tell you, we playing ourselves. Y'all hit the share button on this here live. And when this live over with, send this to everybody in your contact list. I'm about to put you under the chain letter laws. Remember that chain letter y'all used to share because it had a curse at the end of it, and then won't even share this here good talking, because we need to hear this. Because let me tell you how we plan ourselves. You got the boy who's sitting over here doing the podcast. Every topic is love and relationship, but he's single as a dollar bill. Then you got the boy sitting over here want to holler about they having a conversation tonight, and every conversation about love and relationship, and they single as dollar bills. Then you got the man over here sitting on his couch talking about a wifey and single as a dollar bill. Then you got the man over here going on every podcast talking about love and relationship and single as a dollar bill. And we the only, Lord Jesus, I'm getting, Lord, look, I need me a table to flip like your son did. We is the only dumb race parading around talking about love and relationships, and we single and suffering. When the white man out here starting families and raising his kids, we do not see
50 million white men sitting on a podcast talking about love and relationship and single as a dollar bill. When you see a white man on a podcast, he got a ring on his finger and he raising his kids. He on a podcast talking about health, fitness, money, and he getting to the money. He making millions of dollars and he raising his family. And we got black men want to sit up every single darn podcast talking about love and relationships and then going home and sticking a dildo in their booty hole and refuse to go get a wife. But all they want to talk about is love relationship. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I respect the men who just giving motivational advice. That's why I respect the black men who just motivating athletes and who talking about stocks and who talking about real estate. Because that's about getting wealth and that's about being motivated instead of sitting down giving stupid hot takes on love and relationship and you don't know what you're talking about because you don't got no wife that you making it work with. And what you is telling me is that you gay. You telling me you gay when you sitting down and all you talking about is love and relationship, and every single time it's an angle that's skewed for the man to have the advantage and for the woman to be a slave. You telling me that you is gay and that you is mad with women and that you vindictive with women because you got you a dildo at the house and all you focus on is getting that rear end, woe out the frame, and you afraid to come out to your friends, you're afraid to come out to your family, so you're sitting and talking about heterosexual relationship, trying to throw people off. When it is a million, when it is a million qualified single women. Listen, I did a reality show that's coming up soon, and y'all ain't gonna see this version of me because I couldn't be this version of me because it was somebody else's show. It was the other host show. And because it's all kind of spirits going around, and when I'm around certain spirits, I can't be all the way me. But when they give me my show, I'm finna show out. And I probably ain't gonna be able to have no show because the media don't want us to be happily married and faithful. And this is why we have black women now having a whole movement of going to white and Asian men. Because the black men with a platform want to sit on the platforms and give bad relationship advice and ain't never sitting down and talking to faithful married husbands. They talking to husbands who watching porn. They talking to husbands who cheating on their wife or beating on their wife. That's who they talking to. And then say, oh, well, all my friends and my mentors are married. Yeah, they ain't faithful and living right. They ain't faithful and living right. So you're getting skewed advice. You're getting skewed advice. And then we have these white men, these Hispanic men, these Asian men. It's hard to find a single white man over 30. It's hard to find a single Asian over 30. It's hard to find a single Hispanic over 30. You know what they understand? They understand advancement. They understand moving their culture forward. Whereas black men is just focused on money. And I get it. And I respect the guys who focus on money, but even those guys need to get married. We need to focus on the family. That's why they got that business, that radio station and that network that's called Focus on the Family. We need to focus on the family. If you focus on the family, the money gonna come. To every man out there, somebody scroll your screen down and hit the screen record.
I'm gonna give you a few seconds to do it. Scroll your screen down and hit the screen record. Everybody on the live right now, scroll your screen down, hit the screen record. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. To every black man out here, you need to focus on family. Find a wife, get married, be faithful, raise your children, be active in their lives, and the money will come. Stop focusing on money. Stop chasing a bag and chase your purpose. You were not put here to make money. You was put here to replenish the earth. You was put here to move the story forward. You was put here to bring children into the world and to raise them the right way and to make the world a better place than it was than when you showed up here. That's what you was put here for. Stop worrying about money and worry about your family. You could be making money and still get your family. Get a woman that appreciates your ambition and your work ethic, even if you ain't making the dollar amount that you are going to make one day. And it's women out here that will appreciate you at that level. If a woman requires that you be at this certain astronomical level, that's not no real woman, and that's not the woman for you. When I got with my wife, I ain't have nothing in my name but my driver license. And we built this together. We built this together. So if I take a stupid pill and I cheat on my wife, I'm not going to tell, and she divorced me, I ain't going to tell the judge to let me keep half. I'm going to tell the judge she could have it all. She could have it all because I ain't no man. Because I ain't no man. I don't deserve none of it. And it ain't nothing but money. It ain't nothing but money. It ain't nothing but a house and cars. I could get all that back. I could get all that back. I want to pay the price for doing wrong. And until we have men with the mentality of responsibility and accountability, we gonna suck as a people. And I'm gonna tell y'all boys with y'all podcasts who just talking about money and all that, you need to get married, you need to show your wife. You need to show your wife and you need to promote family the way these white men promoting family. When you look around and you wonder why white men own all of this? Why they own all of that? Listen, all of if you got money, you could buy it. But you can't buy it because you can't focus, because you can't get to the bag, because you jacking off and watching porn and sleeping around. But when you lock in with your wife and you focus, then you're going to be able to accumulate wealth. And that's what we got to understand. And see, this is the thing. The black podcast and the black podcast and the black radio is controlled by black media. And the black media is controlled by white media. And the white media don't want the black media to promote healthy black families. That's why we don't got the Cosby Show. And that's why, because Bill Cosby was promoting an image that black people needed, the devil jumped on his back and put his foot up his behind. And that's why Bill Cosby going through what he going through, because of spiritual warfare. And if you do not know God, now see, God ain't gonna let you go through that. So that let me know now. That let me know, because listen, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. If every last one of them women were lying on Bill, then I have the same thing against me. Every man I have the same, because what in the world, what incentive do a woman have? A lot of people don't want to hear this now. What incentive do these women have to lie on Bill Cosby and not lie on Tyler Perry and not lie on Steve Harvey and not lie on TDJ? Come on now. But spiritual warfare. When you doing something that's going to advance the people, you're going to be attacked. And if you don't know God, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer. If you know God and you ain't close with God,
If you ain't supping with the Lord, you gonna suffer. I'm gonna tell you. I went through a season. I stopped reading my Bible. I thought I hadn't read it all. I thought I had it. I started to suffer. I started to go through. Woo! I almost lost it all. Almost lost it all. You hear me? But the Lord say, hey, boy, I had to let you fall. I had to let you fall. Had to let you fall, boy. So that you could get up. But you could get up with some wisdom. This is what I need you to realize and understand, boy. That you can't play with me. God trying to let you know you can't play with me. You can't play with me. Listen to me. God trying to tell you, keep my name out your mouth. God sent me to tell you, keep his name out your mouth if you ain't going to live by the word of God. If you ain't going to live by the teachings of God. God say, don't even say his name. God say, don't thank him for your raggedy award. God say, don't thank him for your subscriber count. God say, don't thank him for your car. Don't thank him for your house. Don't thank him for nothing if you're going to be in the public and you not going to be living for him behind closed doors. God say, don't say his name. God say, call his name when you ready for him to show up. God say, call his name when you ready to make a change in your life. Then say the name of God. Until then, don't let the name come out your mouth because there's power in the name and you can't play with God. Listen to me. I got to watch what I do in my bathroom. And I got my own bathroom that's separate from my room. That's attached to my home office. I got a bathroom. I got a bathroom outside that's with my pool. I got a bathroom in my media room. I got bathrooms that I could go into and get nasty. I can't even get nasty because God watching me. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth right now. If I got to get nasty, my phone about to die. Y'all got to forget my phone trying to die. I'll tell y'all two right now. If I got to get nasty, I got to pull up a picture of my wife and say, Lord, I hope this ain't no sin. Because I'm on this road and I'm feeling a way. I got to get me a picture of my wife. Listen to me. You hear me? I'm not finna play with the Lord. And if I play with the Lord, listen, I got to fall on my face and repent right then. Lord, Lord, guard my eyes, Lord, Lord, look here now, Lord, you know it, I know, you bless that one with a set of hams on her, Lord, give me the strength, oh my goodness, oh, that woman got 2 cantaloupes sitting back there, Lord, give me the strength, you hear me, I have to pray, I don't play, and I remember my homeboy, he don't walk with the Lord the way I walk with the Lord, I told him, I said, listen, bro, I can't be looking around at women, man, because everything passed. He said, and one lady, she tried to say, oh, you should be hanging around. Woman, do you understand that is every single man in the world but my daddy? My daddy is the only man that I've ever been around who has not pointed out a woman to me. He is the only man. That man got a level of self-control that I ain't never seen, at least for me. Like, even for me, I'd have been guilty of making mention to a beautiful woman in front of my son. I'd have been guilty. Yes, and I try to do it in an innocent way, like, oh, okay, she's pretty. Oh, that's a pretty lady. I try to keep it innocent. The Lord convict my spirit. The Lord convict my spirit. See, listen, one thing about me, I'm going to tell you my weaknesses. I ain't going to come in here trying to look like no perfect saint. I'm going to tell you my weaknesses. And I'm going to tell you the one weakness I got is me a set of hams. And my wife know that. She know that since I met her. She know that since I met her. And there's so many women that's delusional that think that, oh, if a man really love you, he won't see it. He doesn't notice any other women. Woman, you was dropped on your head as a baby. You obviously know nothing about men. You obviously know nothing about men. If I was one of the disciples, I would have been looking at Jesus, trying to see if he looking at some booty. I'd have been, Nazareth, what you looking at now? What? I thought, excuse me. I thought you.
Hey, I thought you were looking at something now. Oh, okay. All right. Listen, because that's men. You hear me? So when God say he made one perfect man, that's why God say he ain't make two. God say that's why he ain't make two. He made one perfect man, he ain't make two. Because God know. You hear me? So listen to me. I'm gonna share my flaws with you because I don't ever want to sit down and try to come in like a knight in shining armor. A man asked me, who is a Christian man, and I teach his team. I talk to his team, and I'm hard on them boys. He say, Tony, what you struggle with? I say, Coach, I struggle with looking at me a nice set of hams. I try to keep them hams from around me. He said, oh, you struggle with the same thing I struggle with. I say, I know it. I know it. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna invent. I'm gonna invent a husband collar. I'm gonna invent a husband collar that you can't turn your head this way or that way. And I'm gonna invent them, I'm gonna bring back them blue blockers that you can't see peripheral. If it ain't right in front of you, you can't see it. That's what I'm gonna do. Because this is what you gotta understand. Every man struggle, but a man gotta wanna be better. He gotta wanna do better. And I'm gonna tell you, I really don't meet men. Now I done heard about monks and I done heard about all this, but listen, me being me being a man, I don't believe no monk. I don't believe no monk. That monk be in the AC. That monk be in all kind of air conditioning and all kind of that monk be having on hoodies and eating swine and wearing that thing out. That monk be in there with that lotion. I don't believe no monk, but I done heard about that. But I'm gonna tell you something. I have not seen a disciplined man that does not fear God. The only type of man that I've ever met that is disciplined, he fears God. A man can't, when I say discipline, I ain't talking about going to the gym every day. I'm talking about discipline as it relates to women. He fears God. And I'm gonna tell you, listen to me. If the relationship coach who cheated on his wife did not get messy, had he slept with them women and not led them women on and not lied to them women wouldn't have came out on him. It is ways to cheat and not get caught unless you say the name of the Lord. If you say the name of the Lord, you're going to get exposed. And I think that's honestly why he got exposed, because he was not mentioned. That man, I used to listen to that man before. I listened to a few of his videos. That man ain't never say the name of the Lord. All of a sudden, he started saying God. You know why he started saying God? He started saying God because y'all started coming in my comments saying, Tony, I only follow you because you fear God. That is why the single relationship coach with the perm beard says God. That is why the married relationship coach who cheated on his wife says God. That's why they say God. They say God because they realize that it's a lot of black people that if you say God, that's like the secret password. And they don't have no discretion beyond that word. They don't have no discretion. If you say God, oh, you saying God, oh, let me give you these panties. What you want? Oh, let me cock the leg. Oh, let me cock the leg up for you. You said, what did you say? Oh my goodness, you said, oh, you a man of God. That's how women are. And see, me, I don't play with God. So guess what? None of these men said God. None of them, other than the bishops and the pastors. That's the only one that said God. And two of the real famous pastors went through a divorce. And now it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other famous pastors that went through a divorce. So they went through divorces and was saying the name of God every day. So you know these other men was not saying the name of God. But as soon as they saw that there was a sector of black women that will not listen to you unless you say the name of God, they started saying God every day. Their followers went up, their dollars went up, everything, because they know it's a lot of religious nuts
who they hearing a word, they hear the name God, but they have no discretion. A lot of them don't even have a relationship with God. But that name hold power. So guess what? Because the name holds power, the devil uses it. The devil uses it to deceive the people who he knows doesn't really have a real relationship with God. Do you know it's a lady who listened to my videos and she booked a session with me and she asked me today, "Are you a Christian?" That she didn't even know. As much as I say God, she asked me, "Are you a Christian and are you born again? You believe Jesus died on the cross and rose again for us?" And I say, wow, that is sad. It's sad that she can't recognize a man of God when she see one because there's so many fakes saying the name of God. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And this to the podcasters, this to the YouTubers, this to every influencer. God is not changing for you. You don't put God in your box. You don't tell the people, "Oh, God is working on me and I can take my time and I'm still going to do this and I'm still going to do that because my relationship with God is different." Okay, if your relationship with God was different, then you be that relationship in private. But God say, "Do not be a hindrance to your brethren." So if you say the name of God, everything else got to line up with the name of God. You can't say the name of God and then have stuff out of line. You can't say the name of God and then curse. You cannot mix the sacred with the profane. Because when you say the name of God and then you curse, you just curse God. You just blaspheme God. You have to keep what's holy, holy. You have to keep what's sacred, sacred. Stop playing with God. Because listen to me, you going to mess around and catch cancer. You're going to mess around and have an untimely demise. You're going to mess around and go through hell on earth. I'm telling you, this from somebody who done sat with the Lord, who done experienced God in a real way. God is not to be played with. That's why you don't ever hear me curse. Ever hear me curse. I'm not fixing to mix the sacred with the profane. I ain't finna do it because I know God real. And I'm here to tell you, yeah, God is patient. Yeah, God will take time with you, but not on no mountaintop. If you gonna say God from the mountaintop, you better make sure your life line up with it. If you want to struggle, then struggle in the dark. Struggle in private. Don't struggle in the public where you are hindrance to your brother, where other people say, "Oh, well, they say he say he a Christian and he cursed like a sailor. And he say a Christian and he drinking on the camera. And he say he a Christian and he listening to this kind of music on the camera. And he say he a Christian and he do this or she did. She says she a Christian, she do that." Listen, don't do that. Don't do that. Because it's babies in the Lord that you confusing and that you tripping up. And if the rapture come tomorrow and they done got off the right path, they done got off the straight and narrow because they seen your mixed message, now they blood on your hand. Don't play with God. Don't play with God. And that's one thing I tell everybody. Listen, I done told comedians, I done told radio hosts, I done told rappers. I went at Meek Mill when he made that song Amen. He responded back to me too. He said, if you ain't God, don't tell me yes. And then look what he went through after that. Criminal trials, this and that. Went through all kind of turmoil after he made that song Amen. Because listen to me, you cannot blaspheme the name of God and come out unscathed. Because when you do that, you go into spiritual warfare. And when you go into spiritual warfare without the armor of God, you going to get wounded. And sometimes the wounds going to cost you in the physical. I'm telling you, this is a war cry. This is a spiritual war cry to everybody out there. Stop playing with God. Stop talking about God, holy union of marriage if you living in fornication. Stop teaching on it. Stop making money from it. Stop standing in the pulpit preaching. If you know you are suffering with idolatry, you know you worshiping money, you know you into porn, you know you cheating on your wife, you know you embezzling from the church. Stop playing with God. It's going to cost you everything. Listen, I got to start speaking up because there's too many mouses in the church, and the mouse in the church don't talk. I got to start speaking up, and I'm going to tell you, that's why these boys don't call me. Because if you ain't living right and you ain't doing right and you ain't trying to be right, you don't want to have no parts of me because you feel like you get judged. I ain't judging you, I'm warning you. Because the judge gonna sentence you. I can't sentence you, so I ain't judging you. I'm warning you before you see judgment day. Because when you see judgment day, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late. So you better hear me right now while I'm trying to get you right, while I'm getting me right. See, I could just be getting me right and not helping you get right. But I'm calling you out so you can get your life right. And listen, when I start to see these people get their life right and they start to change, listen, I know that I'm one of the few that's out here sounding the here trumpet, making the here noise. I know it. So that's how I see God doing something. God doing something. God working. God working. It ain't going in vain. This ain't for everybody. Because there's some demons out there who they demons and they gonna keep scheming. But guess what? They gonna answer to God. They ain't got to worry about them. I'm talking to the people that's on the fence. I'm talking to the people that they warn in their spirit. They want to be right. They want to be wrong. They want to be right. They're struggling. It's hard. I'm talking to them. Hey, this Tony guy, my phone about to die. God bless you. I ain't mean to go this long. But listen, I watch boxing podcasts and I be seeing these men talk about boxing, which have nothing to do with your health or your life or your wealth. And they talk about boxing on live for 3-4 hours. So I'm like, if these men could grind on that level, talking about something that means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of our lives, then why can't I talk for 2-3 hours for something that is going to move the story forward? I'm letting men outwork me who doing something that may not be helping us on the bottom line. And I ain't knocking them. God bless you. Everybody do your thing, get your money. But what I'm saying is I respect their work ethic and they grind. And there's some men that do stuff online that have nothing to do with anything and they go live every day for hours. And I'm like, Lord, can you give me that kind of work ethic? But see, that's what the devil know too. He know that his minions that he done put out here to do this fake relationship coaching who are not married, he know that they're going to spend the money on ads. He know that they're going to get on every podcast. He know that they're going to do podcast tours to keep their face out there because they want to be known. Because what they doing ain't helping us because it's sending us a mixed message. Because how you telling me about love and relationships and you ain't got love and relationship? So you're sending me a mixed message. So all you're doing is confusing me. Because if you know it all, why it ain't working for you? So why is you telling me what I need to do to love if you can't do what you need to do to love? So all you doing is sending mixed messages, and that's what the devil does. The devil brings confusion where God is trying to bring clarity. Where God brings clarity, the devil finna come bring somebody to scramble the signal. So the God gonna bring me, and then the devil gonna raise somebody up and get him more followers than me, and get him the lack of integrity, so that they gonna buy followers, and they gonna pay for interviews, and they gonna pay for promotion, and they gonna pay for this stuff because they don't have integrity, and all they want is fame and money. And they doing it, and what it is the work of the devil to mess up the wavelength, the symbol. That's all it is. It's just the devil working to say, okay, God sending clarity, let me send confusion. Okay, this a married man over here who been married 16 years, teaching on love and relationship. But oh, here go a single man over here. teaching on love relationship, and he said this. Oh, what he say kind of tickled my fancy because I like that a little better. I like the way that sounds a little better. You know why you like? Because it's not of God. And because what's of God gonna convict your spirit, and then these people gonna say God to get you to drop your guard. But then when you really look at them and say, okay, are you abstinent? Oh, I was abstinent for 3 years. Oh yeah, but you're not abstinent right now. And you talking about love and relationship, and you saying the name of God, and you're not abstinent right now, and you not committing to be abstinent until you marry, but you doing this right now. Oh well, Tony, you weren't abstinent. Yeah, I also was not a relationship coach going around the world giving podcast advice. I was sinning in turmoil and in fake peace. We got grown, musky men who is in sin and saying the name of God in public while they sinning in public and in private. And guess what? I'm going to tell you another reason why I won't cheat on my wife. Because that one woman that I would decide to cheat with would be able to say God ain't real. Because if she say, if this man do all this talking about God and then he's sleeping with me, how real is this God? And listen to me. I'm not finna have to answer to God for that. Lord, my sin behind me. Lord, you done forgave me for my sin. Lord, I ain't trying to repeat it. Lord, I ain't trying to do that again. I ain't trying to be a misrepresentation at all. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all boys. So listen to me. The Lord put this unction on my spirit today. I never go at people's neck like this the way I put it in the community page that I'm talking about fake relationship coaching. I put it on the title. I never do that. I never do that. And the reason why I don't do it, because I don't want no smoke, because I know that if somebody brings smoke, I'm going to blow the city up. And that's why I don't do it. Because don't nobody want to feel my wrath. My wrath going to come before the wrath of God. Because what a lot of these men don't know is that the women that they done slept with is the women that hire me for coaching. And I just coached a lady yesterday that had a date with a prominent married relationship coach. And what I try to tell these men, listen, one thing about it, boy, I'm living right. That's why the man was out there asking questions in the DM trying to find out about me. Because they trying to see, they trying to see, well, who Tony sleeping with? Who Tony sleeping with? I ain't sleeping with nobody but my wife. I ain't sleeping with nobody but my wife. So guess what? I just coached somebody. And young lady, I ain't saying your name. I ain't saying your name, and I ain't saying his name. And guess what? When she hired me, and they know I'm real now. They know I got to tell the truth for the Lord's sake now. But listen, when she hired me, you know what? And after she told me that, you know what said in my head? I say, well, I wonder if these women come hire me to see if I'm gonna do the same thing, to see if I'm gonna be the same way. And then they quickly find out. They find out, no, Tony don't get down like that. And they may say, oh, well, no, Tony, I never thought that about you. I never thought you would do that. No, I never thought you would do that. I remember I was getting ready to tour with a big time speaker, and I was coaching this lady. And I mentioned that I was getting ready, thinking about doing a tour with this big time speaker. She said, Tony, no. She say, I know him personally. And she say, you and him are not the same. She said, Tony, that's going to ruin you. I say, wow. So you know what the Lord does? He let these women come hire me because it also keep me straight. It remind me that ain't no secrets, playboy. Ain't no secret, playboy. Ain't no secrets, because guess what? If a woman know you married and she'll sleep with you, she broken too. So she need a coach. So she need help. If a woman will go on a date with you and she know you married, she broken too. So she need a coach. So this is what you got to understand. So that's why I try to tell these boys, now listen, I done coach and dealt with the jump offs and the side women and the escorts of countless, my AirPod about to die.
countless professional athletes, countless celebrities, and I can't say their name, and I can't out them. I know more than the bloggers know. The bloggers who making millions of dollars telling people business, I know more than they know because of the position that I'm in. Because when somebody hear my voice, they know I'm a helper. They know I am a helper. They know that I'm here to help you climb out that hole. And yes, I'm going to make you feel bad about what you did because that sorrow going to lead to repentance. But listen, the Lord let me be privy to that because it also keep me real. It also keep me straight. It also keep me authentic. It also keep me pure. He's looking out for me. I know more than the bloggers know. If I start me a blog, you hear me? Woo! But I have millions over top of millions. You hear me? Listen, if I was like these rappers and these gang members and all this that do the extortion, man, I have millions of extortion. Hey, but look, got this picture. Got this picture. Send me this wire. And I'm going to tell you, the devil tried me. It's been a few days where I sat and said, baby, do you think I ought to tell this man, this celebrity millionaire that this woman getting ready to say something and get about 50,000 off of him to split with him? My wife said, no, you can't do that. I said, Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me. I'm about to go back to the streets. I said, oh, Lord, boy, that thing was tempting. Because there's some guys that I didn't call them and talk to them and say, listen, playboy, you might want to slow down. You might want to slow down because your name ringing. And it's going to mess up everything you got going. And they said, Tony, hey, man, how much I got to give you? How much I got to give you to hush that? I said, no, playboy. No, playboy, I don't get down like that. But I got you, though. I got you. I'm going to talk to her, and we're going to squash it. But, hey, I'm giving you this fair warning now. You keep doing what you're doing, you're going to pay a price. I have to let them know. But guess what? That keep me. And the thing about it, I know I could cheat and get away with it from y'all, but I can't get away with it from God. I care less about I could not care less. Meaning I care as the least possible that I could care about what you think about me. I could not care less. There's no less I could care. I care the least I absolutely can care about what you think about me. But what I think about God. I don't know if y'all can hear me because my AirPod done went out. My AirPod said, man, you doing too much hollering and yelling now. Can y'all hear me? I'm about to close out, but I just don't know if y'all can hear me. Kingdom Journey said good. Hey, the Lord was flowing, but my AirPod went out, so that's a sign. Whoa, it's 10:35. I got to go. I done got home, sitting out here running my mouth. I got to go. So, hey, God bless y'all. My mother-in-law in here, she look like she packing up a car. She might be waiting on me. She's so superstitious and just kind of, she probably waiting on me to come in the house so to make sure I'm with my wife before she leaves. So y'all let me go ahead and get up and go, because I need islanders. They have just little ways by themselves. I love them, but y'all from them islands, y'all be too different from me. I'm gonna tell you how my mother-in-law is, because she's not gonna watch this, but somebody who knows my mother-in-law might tell her, your son-in-law will talk about it. She's so scary about the doors being locked. I will walk out my house to go to the mailbox. By the time I get back to my door, she done locked me out the house. Done locked me out my house. I'm like, if I'm not scared, how's you in my house and scared? And it's the middle of the day and I'm checking the mail. So let me get off this here live and get on in here with my wife so my mother-in-law can leave if she's trying to leave, because she's not going to leave until I get in the house. So, hey, God bless y'all, and we'll talk soon. And again, everybody I shouted out, to the moderators, thank you so much for your help. Bless Tribe, Patreon, Tony Gassel Academy students. Got probably over 30,000 students on the academy. I thank you. To the Growth Club, we had some people that got to drop out because of finances, $47. And that's the thing there. We finna start doing some financial coaching and some entrepreneurship coaching, because everybody should have $47. Everybody should have $47. But a lot of times we don't have $47. And I'm gonna tell you like this: you're not gonna have $470 if you can't sacrifice and invest $47. And I'm not saying that you got to invest it in me, but
If I know what I'm giving you and I'm giving you 6-figure, 7-figure blueprints, and you don't have $47, but this the thing, the Christian, the people with integrity who charging $47, we can't even get people to pay $47 to be a part of a group coaching program. But the scammers who charging $20,000 for a mastermind, they could get $20,000 1,000 times over. But we can't even get $47. And that's why people feel like Christians should be broke and struggling, because we try to do it honest and try to be fair, and people can't even afford $47. So I'm praying for y'all. I'm praying for y'all. No, sure, Gene, you need to be shamed, because like Paul said, if you ain't shamed, you ain't gonna get better. You need to grow. You need to use your mind, because God didn't give you no mind to be broke. God gave you a mind to get wealth. So no matter what it is, if you on the internet, commenting, then you need to be able to make $47. And I ain't talking about for the Grow Group, I'm talking about in general. So you need to feel that, so you could say, okay, boom, here we go. And you must be new here. So understand that right there. Because all I do is give away the game. All I do is give away the game. So please don't come on here and you not a member of the Blessed Tribe running your mouth. Okay? Because you will get blocked. So understand that right there. Don't come on here running your mouth doing the work of the devil. Because anything I say is coming from a place for us to grow. Point blank, period. And that's what you got to understand. So, and that's the problem with us. That's the problem with us. Is that we got so many excuses, and we got so many woe is me, that we got other people of other races beating up on us and talking bad about us because they tired of hearing our woe is me story. When money out here, when people without degrees, when people without training, when people without mentors getting to it, you could get to it. You got to take the limits off your brain. You got to stop blocking your blessings, and you got to do the work. You got to do the work. You got to think about what you want to do, and then you got to do it. I just talked to a young lady today who she hired me for a coaching session, and then she started helping me. And she said, I said, hey, do you want to make some extra money? I got this here idea right here. It's going to make you some extra money. You're going to be able to use your gift. And I'm going to bring people to you that's going to pay you for your gift. And she said, and she could have been saying this facetiously, but a lot of people say this seriously. She said, well, is there a business plan in place? I said, no, ain't no business plan. I done made millions of dollars and I ain't never had a business plan. You got to have an action plan. And an action plan is to do. We sit up here, so many people sit up there and you write yourself to death. You write yourself to death. You got this beautiful, immaculate plan. And by the time you're done writing the plan, you ain't got no more energy to implement the plan that you just spent months writing out. All you got to do is do. As soon as I have an idea, I get right to it. That same night, I go to Fiverr, I get the logo, I get the design, I go to Alibaba, I order the sample, all in the same night. And I wait on it, I get it, and then I might not want to do the business. I just got a sample of a t-shirt I paid $80 from to come from China. And boy, I love that quality. So I went to Fiverr, I spent, I don't know, $30 or $50 to get a little embroidered patch made design. I sent that back to them. I said, can y'all put this patch on this t-shirt? And then I'm going to order a bulk thing of this t-shirt, and I'm finna sell these t-shirts. I'm finna sell these hoodies. I'm finna sell these sweatpants, these matching sets. And I ain't even no clothing designer, but I'm finna do it because it got a message on it. And I want to put that message out in the streets. And I want people to see this message, and I want them to believe this message. I want them to be convicted by the message, and then I want them to implement on this message. And I'm not a clothing designer. I hit up my little mentee, who we started a business together because he hired me for coaching. We did 3 coaching sessions. We started a business together. I gave him 25% equity. He hit the ground running. He was so ambitious. He was getting on my nerves. I say, bro, I ain't got this much energy for this now. So what we gonna do? We gonna flip this. I'm gonna give you all the equity, and you could have this company. I'm glad that we dreamt it up together. We went to a cabin in Georgia. We had a chef up there, had my other mentee there. We dreamt up the business. I turned it over to him. He said, can I give you 10% so I could use your name on the pitch deck when I'm raising money? I say, sure. I hit him up. I said, hey, do you know a black designer? Because I need some design for a line that I want to do. And this is a separate line from the line I just told you about. So I'm working on 2 clothing lines. My wife sent me an idea that she had. And she do this all the time. But she not like me. I'm her other half. I'm her different half. Not her better half. I'm her different half. She not my better half. She my different half. Your differences equal your strengths. So she sent me her idea. That same night, I took and I got the design made. I went and found the manufacturer. I got some sample. I got some mock-ups made, and I'm ordering it. She don't even know I'm ordering it. When it come, I'm gonna say, here go the idea you brought to me, because I know how she is. She a perfectionist. She'll just brew on it, brew on it, brew on it. No, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. When I get it in, I'm gonna get it in. I'm gonna make a site. I'm gonna make a website. And now I got a web designer. I'm gonna make a website. I make my own site. It's all just plug and play. I'm gonna make the website, and I'm going to go. I'm gonna launch it to y'all. I'm gonna say, hey, here go my wife idea. Bam, buy this right here. For those of y'all who are supporters, because you understand seed time and harvest, y'all gonna buy it, and that seed you sowing into your business idea, that money gonna go to an account, and then I'm gonna show the account to my wife, and I'm gonna say, let's go up to the bank and let's add your name to this account. Here go your business. I want to start it to show you just how easy it is, and that you don't have to sit and just stew and understand that nothing start perfect. Everything starts somewhere. Yeah, people gonna complain about the quality. They're gonna have something to say. You take that feedback and you get better quality. You take that money, you reinvest it, and then boom, you build business. I got over 60 streams of income now. I stopped counting at about 53, 54, because every asset, every course is a stream of income. Every book is a stream of income. I keep creating streams of income and I ain't worried about taking all of them to the finish line. All of them ain't got to do a whole lot. All of them ain't got to do it. It's like this. It's just like when you buying stocks. You're not going to put all your money into one stock, because if that stock crash, you done. If that company go out of business, if that CEO get on Joe Rogan podcast and smoke a blunt, your stock finna crash, and you don't know when it's gonna come back up. And so you got to spread it out into a few different ones, so that they growing at different rates. So if one losing, the other one gaining. One might be doing the bad, the other one doing good. The same way you do with your gifts, the same way you do with your business. That's how you get to it. So when y'all sit and y'all see me, don't just think I'm just a relationship coach. That's why the fake relationship coaches, that's why you don't see them in one of these. It ain't because they smart with their money, because you can't take it with you. Look what they told you. Ain't no U-Haul hooked up to no hearse. But the reason why you don't see them in one of these is for 2 reasons. Either one, they want a poor mouth to make you feel sorry for them, so you keep buying their books. Or 2, because they ain't got now. Because they want to sit up and talk about fake relationships instead of also doing business. I do business. The least of my money comes from talking about relationships. I do business. You hear me? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So listen, and when I lay it all out, I'm finna get me a videographer, and I'm finna get me a brand strategist, and I'm finna lay out all my businesses on Instagram. And I'm gonna show you the ecosystem of business that I run that I don't even talk about. And when I do that, the Earn Your Leisure guys gonna see that I got more businesses than them, and they ain't brought me on the Leisure podcast. They're gonna see I got more businesses and more streams of income than anybody they done brought on their podcast. But I don't show that because of what I got to do for the people in the work of our unity and our marriages and our love lives, our self-love, our healthy love, and all of that. That's what we got to get to. So listen, office space almost done. We piece it together. We just putting little finishing touches on there. I'm gonna get my wife up there to help me bring it all together. It's gonna be decked out. It's gonna be a little, and I'm thinking about getting the office next to it. I'm thinking about getting the office next to it, but it's not an office. The space next to it, and turn that into something. But you know what? The reason why I haven't pulled the trigger, cause see me, I ain't scared, but I'm married, and that's the other side of marriage. That you can't do everything you want to do if your spouse don't have the palate for it. So I don't want my wife to be in not in agreement, because I don't want to mess up my favor from the Lord. Now I can talk to her and give her my plan, and her loving me and her trusting me, she gonna tell me the downside and what to look out for, and ultimately she'll give me her blessing. But I don't want to get a forced blessing. And the problem with weak men is they dominate and they dictate, and they don't listen to their woman, and that's why they suffer, and they family end up on welfare and about to lose it all, because they thought they knew it all, and they thought they was above a woman, and they thought their woman was dumb and didn't know nothing, and they thought God only gave a man a brain, and so they thought they have to make every business decision and every business call without consulting their wife, and that's why they go through. God gave a woman a different type of mind so she could see what you can't see, and she see things differently. And even when you talk to some other men who are outside of you, they'll tell you. I gave my idea to my partner. He said, I'm going to tell you one thing. Do one thing at a time. But he's also a pessimist, and he does not start businesses or run them. So I have to take that with a grain of salt. But as soon as the Lord say, okay, you got the runway, now go and activate that other idea you had, and watch it boom. Watch it boom. I don't know failure. I don't know failure because I know faith. And when you know faith, you don't know failure, because there is no such thing as failure when you know faith. Everything is a win. If I make $1, I won. Point blank period. Point blank period. And there's people out here who don't got it. Gonna tell you, oh, people doing too much at too much. Just do one thing. Just do one thing. No, you do one thing, because that's all your mind can handle. But don't tell the people who could do more than one thing just to do one thing, because we made more complex than that. So, hey, this Tony Gaskin, God bless you. Let me get on here. I done let the night get away. God bless you. We'll talk soon.